Hi, this is Samuel Durbidge, or Samuel Loomis Newly Awakened. So you're on the book channel, which is Samuel Durbidge, and I'm going to now read Chapter 10. Chapter 10 of my book, of Alien Perceptions of Possible Truth. I'm updating the book with these audio, video, chapter recordings, voice recordings, so that you can read along, those who want to. This is one of my favorite chapters that I've done. I would say this one and 11 are probably the one that I am really excited for, because it really brings into things that I really cherish and prefer to talk about and focus on. I think 11 will probably be one that I really am looking forward to talking about. But 10 will go over why it's important to learn to control one's emotions without emotions controlling you and others around you. So this is on page 161. So this goes to 173. Looks like 12 pages. Yeah. So this is really good. Let's go into it. And again, as I read along with this, you're welcome to go, for those that have the book, you're welcome to read along with me, but you don't have to. This is free, so you don't necessarily need the book. You just listen, and you'll know what my feelings are about what I wrote back when I wrote the book. But I am now not part of any religion at all. I just follow my heart and do the next right thing. It doesn't mean that I don't have any belief in a God or a creator or anything like that. I actually believe that we are all connected in some form. I just don't define what that is. I'm all about manifesting reality through energy science. And I just mentioned that in the previous chapter about the concepts of the energy science, water science, brain thought science, concept ideas, and other concepts that I follow, and the law of attraction, movie The Secret information. So let's go into this. So page 161. Ooh. And I'm going to correct anything that I feel needs to be said, because I don't really follow the same belief I had before. And I'm also going to say different word phrases that, like anything that's believe or living, anything that has words within words that have evil within it. I'm saying something that's more less and more less evil and more positive, optimistic, because there are words within words. But I might keep it the way that it is, depending on the way that the sentence or information is being phrased. But here we go. So, many people that feel upset and were hurt, abused, and fight with others sometimes have a hard time thinking good about another. So for those that fight or have issues or different interpretation or have been taught indoctrination or how to be a perfected individual and to keep the peace, or don't speak your mind, don't speak your feelings type of idea, don't contend. Those are very secretive, abusive type of techniques, because it's not necessarily about contention or anything like that. It has to do with you have certain opinions and certain feelings, and you want to express those feelings. You just don't want to control or be sensitive or too sensitive, or be insensitive about others being sensitive about certain situations. It's about having an open heart. It's not about being perfect or expecting perfection. It's about doing the next right thing. I like the movie Frozen, and I like the show Seventh Heaven, because Seventh Heaven brings up a lot of those concepts of hearing things out. And it's not about thinking that people older than you have more awareness and more smarts than you do. Sometimes children have some, younger individuals have some really great wisdom above those that are older. Everybody sees things in a different way than some others do. So it's good to listen to everybody's opinion, regardless how age you are, because everybody's wise in some form. Even if they haven't gone through what you feel they will maybe go through or should, it's good to look at different perspectives, regardless of how it's told or perceived, and then follow your heart. So here we go. At the same time, we see others wanting to get even with others or to us, and then we decide to do the same. All of those things, or these things, are all part of our choice in these things. So everybody does that based off of choice and based off of reacting to those experiences, or lack of understanding the individual's reasoning or feelings. So your feelings are very important, because your feelings create your reality. And that's why I bring this up. Your feelings with your thoughts are similar to praying. But your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions create reality. So now we need to recognize when we are being hypocrites, that it is important. We can't do things for others if we expect them to be perfect and us imperfect. We should have belief in others, think good of them. When they hang up on us or get upset for something they feel we did, we should let them know why we did what we did. But sometimes they don't want to know, and that would be on them. But we just need to realize that everybody's going to follow things based on stress or issues, or the way that this system of this world and reality and realms have been affected in. So that we didn't mean to, that we are mean, we let them. Okay, so that we didn't mean to, that we are sorry if we are sorry. We should be the bigger person, doesn't mean we let them tear us down and make us be the ones that's wrong. What this means is we let them know our intentions. Then if they tell us that they can't handle that much love or intention, then to be willing to hear them out, but then not let them bully you or push you aside and not hear your heart. It's about being empathic for each other, empathizing each other's understandings for why it hurt or why it felt that way, but not letting it overwhelm you. Understanding that it has to do with something you went through or deal with, but it's more about, like, what is it that you're lacking that usually makes you feel sensitive about stuff, your health, your needs, and requiring certain requirements. And sometimes others can't give what the other individually is saying they want. I have been greatly blessed with having family that have come around and have started to see the way this way and be this way just because I had belief they are this way. And they did, and then they didn't. And the thing is I've noticed that there is a control program system out there that HET, human extraterrestrials, are controlling, and societies that religions are controlling, and some of them have been infiltrated and turned into a society that have been lying, and now people are uncovering those lies and deceits and controls and agreement programs that they started. And so they secretly were doing abusive programming, but now they're being outed for it. And now they're trying to teach the people that are still within the religion to keep doing it. And that you can't speak your mind or question the reasoning behind what is being asked or told. Basically, their insight is better than your own. The leader's insight is the insight you should listen, and you shouldn't question the leadership decisions or ideas or inspiration they say comes from God or a creator. And that's not the way that it works. It has to deal with following your heart and doing the right thing. You need to bring up certain things you witnessed and recognize, and they tell you not to research, not to look into those things, not to question, but question with your heart. But then when you do all the things they tell you to do, then and you're doing it with a smart look at things, and you're making sure that you find solutions, it starts to break their controlled systems down, and they start to be outed for what they're doing. But then they don't want you to explain it or bring up their lack of awareness or lack of inspiration, because they want to look good and they want you to just comply. And that's not the way that your heart works, and following the higher form or creator or deity is. It's about being there for one another. It's about being the good Samaritan, not the priest of Noah or that the Book of Mormon and the church that I grew up in mentioned, and not the Pharisees that were hypocrites. Both priests of Noah and Pharisees were being hypocritical and judging others and not accepting the wisdom of others and forgiving others for their flaws and healing them. No, they want people to be in bondage and stay in bondage, not be healed or freed. Also, I noticed that there's a lot of people within the churches that they were very sympathetic to the Nazi Germany people, because they said, they were just following orders. But you know what? The problem is they still keep on those orders or agreements afterwards. And, or they sympathize or think that leader, maybe he made the wrong choice. Maybe he learned from his mistakes and now he can come out of hiding. Some people still think that Hitler is still living and has been hiding, and now maybe he can come out and lead again. And that's not the way that we need to do things. But I've had so many friends in the past that were within the church that were German, and yet they were always doing the opposite of being there for other people. And then they were judgment about races like Italians and other individuals, and they were putting people down and thinking badly. And it's just, there's just so many confusing things that were going on, and I didn't understand their way of looking at things. It just seemed too secretly evil for a lot of them. So I realized that there was some trickery teachings that they were taught still. So I see as if they realize my needs and wants and appreciate. So this is my family. At the time I was thinking goodly about them, and I still do, but I also don't let them push me around anymore, and I do my own thing now because I noticed that they were being unsafe. And when I noticed that they're being unsafe to me or thinking negative thoughts about me, I can't have that. I need positive healing thoughts. And they were doubting those thoughts, so I had to get away from them in my life because they want me to get back into the church that they're part of. They think that me not being part of it and not doing that, I won't get into the heaven realm that they think is necessary by doing the covenants. But the reason why I left the church is because of abusive program agreements that I was warned about by a higher form. My mom thinks I'm being deceived by a spirit, but the being that came to me, hugged me, and bawled with me when the church and others were ignoring my needs. They chose to hide those needs, but people within that church who worked at the top told me about it and secretly let me know about it. And then but then they were being a little negative in the way that they approached it to me. So I had to research a little bit more on my own instead of everything they mentioned. And so I got drawn to positive information on healing, but information from professionals similar to them. And I learned tons, even from military individuals that are said to be part of the church at the time. And then I learned even better. See, the issue with this state of Utah is there's so many religious individuals connected to the gang stalker programs and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is not really a Church of Christ. It's more of a conditional form of their version of Christ that comes to be more anti-Christ. And so it's really kind of like the mark of the beast type of Christ is what it seems they're following more, rather than the free society form of a Christ. They've become more about money and funds, and rather than free society. And you don't need money. You just you can manifest. If you need money, then we need to manifest it for each other, but not hoard it from each other. A church that believes in charity, and yet they let the poor and the needy suffer, that they could do something for. Their bishop storehouses and stuff don't have organic, clean foods. They've all been mostly GMO trickery foods that they know harm. So I was trying to put in a positive note at the beginning here that we are all important, and they are. My family and everybody, regardless how we have different thoughts and feelings about each other, we're all important, and I still think good thoughts and feelings about them. I still meditate and pray in my form of knowledge of prayer, of blessing, because prayer is an energy. I don't really pray to any kind of form of deity necessarily. I reach out to beings that I know have reached out to me, that have told me I can reach out to them, and that they'll be there for me, such as a Christ form of consciousness. I pray to the form of Christ that cared and bawled with me, that's unconditional, that cares about everybody, even if you're an atheist, and don't have any belief. It's more of it was similar to the Christ that was originally mentioned in the New Testament, of a Christ that cared about all faiths and all people, and was about being good Samaritan to everybody, that everybody matters. All you have to do is ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be given unto you. That kind of Christ form. So we matter, they matter. If we both truly love each other, we should be open to hear each other's perceptions, which I am open to telling them and letting them know. but they have twisted and misinterpreted or were unwilling to understand how important it is for me to have people to meditate and pray with me in the way that I feel is needed. I've given them information and tools that are very heartfelt ways of doing things, which is the gift of the blessing and the science confirmed. And my mom and others have chosen not to. Instead, they think I should do other things in their way, but then they pressured me when they know that doing those foods or those things are what harm me and what I really require. So they've been ignoring my needs of those things. They helped for a time, but now they've kind of pulled everything from me, and then they judged and threatened and feared me about thinking that I would be mentally ill for feeling and noticing things that I know has been affecting me and needs to correct itself. Or I could, in fact, die. And so my mom took that seriously and felt that I need to do things that I know that my physical health can't handle. And I have a doctor's note and other things that confirm that. And government and others have kind of helped, but there's been some ignoring of my needs because of the way that the system is set up. They're not about holistic healing and energy healing. So I've been reaching out and hoping that others that listen to this and others that are willing will reach out to me. And I became my own minister so I can bless in my own way of blessing, so I can pray and bless myself as well, for the belief system I know works. So I have legal law allowance to do that so that they can't stop me from being able to bless in my way of what's supposed to be blessed. And then lately I've been targeted by beings or not beings, but by secret government workings that I noticed has happened before, and I reacted to that and noticed again that they started doing the same thing, and I saw the same tactics that they did before, and it got me to realize that there is some very messed up systems going on, and that I need to let people know so that they can be aware of what they're doing, and so that anybody else that is going through the same thing, I noticed since they've done it twice to me, now I can tell others so that they can see a pattern, so that they can see that I'm not alone in this. Because if they're doing it to me, they're going to do it to you. And so I'm letting you be aware, even if they don't do it to you yet, and let's say something happens to me, well, then now they might use the same tactics because it's part of their plan. It's how they do stuff, because they do things similar to this to people that know too much or speak out about healing and about natural healing and speak against the religion they're part of. And so they're doing tactics that are what the priests of Noah and others did that were not what we should be doing, and Gideontum robber type stuff. And so the church that is against the idea of Gideontum robbers is actually Gideontum robbers themselves. And they're allowing Gideontum robber stuff, or ignoring it, or acting like it's not happening. So they think they're justifying by doing those things, and yet they're like, well, but we're not perfect. It's not about being perfect, it's about doing the right thing. And so if they want to say that their church is good and amazing, then start preaching the way that your church teaches to do that. But don't follow the old teachings that you say you don't follow and that you're against. But you do research those past awarenesses, because that's what they've always been. And it shows that they haven't changed from their actual historical flaws. They still follow the same way the church was originally created as. It is a Mason-controlled religion. It is an Illuminati-controlled Mason religion that is connected to Zionists. and Zionists are very tricky people hiding healing and hiding tech and information that can heal us all and that can help us ascend or become better beings and have a free society world. They're hoarding money and they're hoarding things and they're not helping people. They're helping people to a degree of falsehoods that aren't full healing. So here we go. So sometimes if the younger person needs to tell their feelings, just have belief they will. Let you tell yours. Think as if it all works out. Believe they love you and love them genuinely back always. Don't worry or dwell on the yelling or the fighting. Just believe that everyone is all good. Do you know what? This was when I was just trying to please my family. So I don't agree with that way of emotion because my heart wasn't fully into realizing the abuse that was going on. And a lot of younger children and a lot of my nephews and nieces I'm noticing are being affected by this same abuse, and that I was taught to treat them and talk to them in that way in the past because my oldest brother did it to me and other family, and then they act like they never did. But I have recordings now because what I do is anytime they call me or talk to me on the phone now, I record every conversation for my protection, but I won't edit it. I'll keep it free. They recorded conversations and then edited anything nice I said and then sent emails to my family in the past, and they've done that. And then they'll go, but do you have that proof anymore? I don't have that anymore. It was so long ago, but it was a Hotmail email that he did it to. But I do remember it because it affected my job. And he likes to blame other people that he was doing it for when it was really them choosing to do it. But he's like, see, you're not about forgiveness if you're bringing that up. And I said, no, it's not. The way that you forgive is bringing up the information that has happened. But I said, you know what, you did what you felt you wanted to do, and you think you don't think that that's wrong. I said, do you think that that's wrong that you did that? See, they don't like to acknowledge their flaws or their pains, but then they want me to apologize for certain things, for me bringing up certain things or saying certain things. And so I decided, you know what, instead of being blamed for past stuff that they think I did and they're claiming I did, I said, well, where's the proof? Do you have the full proof? Do you have any proof that I did that? Or do you have any information that I did that? And hearsay, or what was it about? I said, what was it about? And so what they've done is they have chosen to make fun of me and put me down. And I'm the youngest, so I've always been put aside and looked as if I got everything. But do you know what? Did any of them break 13 bones their first year of life, have a hole in their heart at birth, have to deal with those pains and those issues of physical health? Could they not play sports? Did they have back surgery? Do they have metal in their back and metal in their leg? No. A lot of my family did not have surgeries like that. They've never really had to deal with those things. Some of them dealt with cysts in their body or other stuff, and so I can relate to being skinny or different things. But they're very sensitive people, so if you joke and are sarcastic with them after they're sarcastic to you, they get upset at you for being sarcastic, even though they were being sarcastic to you. And it's like, I tried to bond with them, I tried to relate with them, and I could never relate or say the right things with them as a younger brother. And so people that are younger can relate to that, but the older siblings always feel like that they're carrying the whole family and that they have to carry the whole children or be the sibling that has to carry and teach the right things to people. Well, let me explain something. Doesn't matter what age you are. I think the best way to treat and understand each other's feelings is to be aware of Seventh Heaven. The Seventh Heaven show is a very good show to bond with your younger siblings and understand your younger siblings' personalities and feelings. Hear them out and be aware of them, to bond with each other and talk to each other and be aware of each other's awareness and things, and let them feel the way they want to feel, and listen to their feelings. Be open and aware of how it relates to them, but don't try to bully them or put them down for their own feelings of feeling hurt or misled. But here's the thing that has bothered me the most. I never had anybody. I don't have a romantic individual in my life, or I haven't. And so I'm working on, or not working on. I've been doing my manifestation idea of manifesting her into my life, because I know she exists and she's meant to be. I've seen her. I've seen the spirit. I know what she's supposed to be. And the church and societies are trying to keep her from me and me from her. And others are trying to think badly so that it doesn't happen. And by them doing that, that's why we have pain in the world. That's why people are suffering, because we're not getting the true manifested desires that we're meant to have. Everybody's trying to doubt other people's desires of beliefs in it, or thinking that we're doubting it, when we're not. We know what's wanted. We know it can exist. We do require others to have faith and belief with us without judgment in it, and to have belief that we are having belief in it, even if we're having a hard time with it, to make up that doubt for us. Think as if it already is for us, even if we don't see it or feel it. Help us by thinking that it is, so that we can have that encouragement of belief in it, because we do want that. So act as if we have it, and as if what we want is real, like we want to think in. For those of us that know how to manifest, or know the way to manifest, we are doing that. We are focusing on those feelings. We need help. We need extra help. Some have chosen to give up and don't want to follow it because they didn't feel like anybody was supporting them in that endeavor of that belief science. But the science still works. Even if we're not getting that support, it still is. It's still meant to. But what I realize is there is insurgence and tactics of individuals trying to not let it happen for us, isolating us, or keeping individuals that are meant to be in our life away from us, from hearing what is wanted, and trying to get them to go the wrong direction. So them doing that will still get them into our arms. And that's how we want to think. That's how we want to reverse the tactics they're doing to control, and using their tech that we don't have. We need to believe that they're going to fail with the tech they're utilizing. It's going to be reversed back, and somehow we're still going to get it, even with their tech and their system of slavery tactics. So we want to forgive the flaws and the trickeries going on, and stand up for one another, and be there for one another in thought, feeling, and forgive the weird thoughts and the weird awarenesses that I just had and just mentioned, and just realize what I'm really talking about. Manifesting reality by thinking it already is for the individual, like the water science. Trust, because as you do unto me, you do it to yourself. So pulling things away from me, or allowing those tactics to exist and happen to me, only harms you and those you love too. Even if you're following the rules to not have them do it to you, allowing it to be done to me allows it to be done to you too. Think of the Good Samaritan story. Who was blessed and who was not blessed? The one that was blessed, or was looked good, was the Good Samaritan, because the Good Samaritan was willing to help the naked man, who he didn't know, and didn't know why he was beaten and naked on the side, and helped him and got him to a place of shelter to heal, and then paid for his wages and his sleep and gave him some extra money for travel. And he just did that out of his kind heart, knowing that the individual needed it. And you don't have to do this for someone that's beaten naked. You can do this for someone who has disabilities and health like me, or problems like others do. And do that out of your heart. Learn what it is we need. Give enough that you're willing to provide. And if you want more to be given, let others know of the person's need and support them and find them and help them with their needs. Be there for them. Be aware of those individuals' needs in those situations. There are things going on, and it's very sad and messed up of those attacks and those situations. And some people may think it's strange, may think it's not happening, but I know that I've dealt with some really horrible crap that others are just letting happen and ignoring that it's all in my head. It isn't, hasn't been. I've been about finding solutions and being aware of those things. And allowing abuses to people that abuses are happening to is not healthy at all or not right. All I really require is people to just take the time with me as often as you can, and to call me up and say, hey, let's start doing that manifestation technique. I have like 10 minutes to 30 minutes. Let's do that. And then we'll just do the gift of the blessing idea, and then the non-medicine hospital way of manifesting, or whatever I feel needs to be said to manifest, and focus on it. And then just do that simple task with each other. Even if you think it's silly, but you want to have it happen, have belief in it. Talk about the thing that's already been provided to cover the needs that are required and needed. And know that us doing that manifestation is so that I can have the funds that are really needed right now, really required, and not as much as you think is needed, but more than what you would think is needed for a certain purpose. And then once that is provided, then I can help others like I already plan on doing, setting up a support system and being there for people that others are ignoring, that are able to come and open up to me, or so that I can do charitable things for people around me that I learn are needing those help or that help. And I can reach out or do something and contribute to them through Patreon or something for their needs or for their hopes that they're struggling in, or GoFundMe's. I'm more about energy healing, full healing, not medicine healing or radiation treatments. I'm more about healing without radiation, without the natural healing, organic forms, because that other is fake healing and trickery healing. What it's a controlled project healing. That's not healing. It may help and damage the bad crap within you, but it doesn't help you fully, really. It gets you more sick. It's programmed to kill you, not help you. And some people heal from it and they get away with the healing of it, but it's because they're doing other things on top of it. So here we go. So as we have belief for others, so it becomes. So our thoughts about other people or feelings about them help create reality. So even if my family or others have chosen to be what they are around me, I've chosen to think differently from them and let them come to me when they're ready to think in the positive, optimistic way, and to be there as families and caring families say they are. And I actually will be there for a family member if I knew they were requiring me to be there for them. I would do what I can to be there for them if I had the funds and needs for myself to be able to go and be around them. But if I don't, then that's why I can't be around them, because their thinking and thoughts and focuses that I'm not able to necessarily handle, because a lot of the things they think are contrary to the way of healing that I've seen. But I've done my best to think differently about them, why I'm not around them, so that eventually when they're ready to be the way that I know will help heal, thinking as though they are that way, they will show up and be that way. Also, there's a lot of things that I'm aware of that I'm just noticing confusion and trickery that I can't tell what's really going on. And so I've had to focus on myself, focus on my focus of heart, and realize who I can trust. And it's interesting, a family that says they love me and care about me hasn't called me or talked to me or got to know me. Um, they they haven't tried to really meditate with me or think in the way of my meditation of belief that I know helps heal, that science confirms. But they're about similar ideas, but their way of science that is contrary to even their religious beliefs about things. And it's really weird the way that they've chosen to follow things because of pain and situation they deal with and stress and busyness. It's caused them to be lacking of empathy for their choices. But I choose to think as if they have empathy. I just and I would like to be empathizing with them but I don't like to put people down or talk badly about people behind their backs or things like that. And that's what got me with my family. They were doing that about other people, and I always stood up against that and said, no, we need to think good thoughts about others. It's not right to think badly. If we don't, it can create reality for them. It can affect them. But they don't accept that belief. They don't understand that science. And so they think badly of me and have, or think that I'm mentally ill for thinking those ways of healing, of ideas of healing, and the way of organic vegan eating food did cure cancer I had and the issues, and they noticed it, but then they're trying to push me back into their foods, even though they know it's not good for me, and they think it's my mind that helped it be good for me, and that it's still okay to eat the chemical altered foods, or they say one thing. They just keep going back and forth. It's really weird. And then they say I do that, but I'm actually more about let's just meditate and pray and think goodly of each other, but not fakely, not facadely, but honestly. Let's heal the pains we've all had by putting the judgments aside and caring and thinking and just meditating and providing each other's needs when we can without strings attached. They're not about charity freely given, only when they feel they are. They're very stingy about things. They haven't been stingy at times, but they've been stingy to a point, and they don't have belief that you can manifest things. They believe that it's a God's timing, not our timing with the energy of the universe with us in our timing of need of belief, that it can happen right away. And prayers actually confirm that when you have 3 or more people together, you can create it to happen all at once. Even if someone doubts, you can make up the doubt if you're the one being the healer power, and everybody can do it. It doesn't matter what sexual preference you are or what gender you are, biologically, or what you want to define as gender. Whatever you are, or whatever individual you are, or species you are, everything that vibrates and has feeling, emotions, and thoughts, they all can manifest reality and heal. You also have, if you have tech or ability to help with that, then do that for the individual, even if you can't relate with them. If you don't think you have emotions to do that because of the species you are, you could at least use tech that it could help them manifest their desires with, and be there for what they need and get others to do that for them. So our emotions help guide what comes from experiences. Do we feel good or bad about what we get? Do we hate someone or really choose to love them or value them? Do we think a fight will happen, or do we help understand one another through expressing our emotions fully? Sometimes at first there might be a tension, because you're going to be honest and authentic about yourself and your feelings about them and what they've done. Not that there will be, but depending how much history and hurt there has been, it needs to be healed. So we need to acknowledge that harm that we feel has been overlooked because they care more about you not following their way of what they think is appropriate to be followed. And so they have this way of the way that they think you should think and be, rather than the way that you know that you should think and be from your heart, being the full you. And they want to control the way you are. They want to say what you are. And then they define you as a Satan follower if you're not following their religion. So they think you're evil because you're not following the commandments and you're sinning in their eyes, or they make judgments or perceive things that aren't true. And that is not helpful. And so what you got to do is step back from those individuals that do that, and then care about them, and then open up and say, do you know what? I can't be around you, but you're still welcome to try to reach out to me if you're not going to abuse or allow secret projects to be messed with me. But if you're willing to talk to me and get to know me and help me and and meditate and be aware of my needs and take it seriously and manifest with me like I know will work unconditionally, then I'll accept you in my life. But when you are saying you're part of a religion that hoards money and says they're about charity and about Christ's teachings, and yet they hoard $100 billion and more, and then they pull out of stocks right before the coronavirus happens in healthcare, knowing that it's going to happen before they even bring it up in the news about the coronavirus, and they know things are going on. Because they know they'll lose money. You know what? And then they tell people don't go to the temples, don't pray for each other in those countries so that the virus doesn't spread. But aren't those temples and those places supposed to be healing places that heal diseases and problems? I used to wonder about when I go to the temple, people would cough and be sick in front of me, and they used to tell us, don't worry about people hacking and coughing and farting in front of you in those temples. You know, they're there to heal, and they're worthy of it, and so are you. So, you know, it's okay for them to do that. And so I was like, wait, what? It's okay for people to be sick in front of you? Okay, well, that makes sense, because that's what they're there for healing. And then, but now that they really need full healing, they're saying they can't get it. They can't go there because this is even bad. So they're lacking the belief of healing now. And they've been doing that for the last few years. Ever since I wrote this book, I've been noticing that. Instead of following the ideas of law of attraction, ideas of healing, which they were following before in a way, they're now acting as if it's not that way, and they're pulling away from what science has confirmed works with religion. So they're now trying to reverse back and make it more conditional and stay away from things. But they are about organic vegan food, but then they aren't really. It's a very tricky system. It's just there's so many different belief systems within the belief system, and no one's consistent. And so I just follow my heart, do what's right for me, and let you do what's right for you. But I don't choose to judge whether you're going to go to a hell or not. I don't think anybody's going to go to some hell dimension. I think if you're going to a hell dimension, it's your type of heaven. You believe it's a heaven to you, and it's going to be a heaven to you. But someone else's hell is someone else's heaven, and someone else's heaven is someone else's hell. So that's just the way that things are. Well, good or bad. Do we hate someone and really choose to love them? Do we think a fight will happen, or do we understand one another through expressing our emotions fully? So we just need to express our emotions fully. So here we go. So when you talk to that person, think about that let them back in, be honest with them about your feelings, but also let them be honest about theirs. But don't hang up on each other. If you hang up on the other thinking that they're not hearing you when they are, and you're ignoring their needs of speech and expression, that doesn't help the healing. That actually causes, it shows who really wants to heal and who really is unconditional healing and who's conditional. And so I bless and I forgive them for their lack, because I used to be that way and I grew up from that. And even though they're older than me, they're still following the failures I grew up fast through because of breaking bones and other issues, and realizing how to communicate because of those. I had to work around communication for jobs instead of physical labor because of my health issues. And so have belief they love you. Think as if they will be able to fully tell you everything, even if it doesn't come out calmly or rationally. Just let them express and have belief that they let you express regardless who leads the conversation. But I think it's good to talk back and forth to each other, but don't try to expect the other to communicate the way that you think is appropriate, but then also be honest and open. I used to think that you got to think positive thoughts and feelings, but now I've noticed that, you still want to think positive thoughts and feelings as best as you can, but you don't want to lie about your feelings about each other, but that you do want them to be healed and happy. That this is how you've noticed them being in the past, or and what's affected you, but that you're really okay with them being what they want to be, and that you don't expect perfection from them. But if they expect perfection from you, or think that you should follow what they think is supposed to be followed, and they think, oh, you're the devil, or you're following the devil and evil and blah blah blah, because you're not part of the church, you're not this, you're not following God. No, that's them tapping into the devil's self of themselves, of what they say is wrong to do, they're doing to you. And they don't see it, they don't notice it, because they're in pain. And so you just gotta let them express that pain and take the time, if they're willing to, and work through it with them. Be honest about your feeling and say, do you know what? You have the right to feel that you think that that's okay to do, and I'll let you be you, and I'm going to let me be me. But this is what I notice is needed for me, and this is what matters to me. And then you just let them know that. So here we go. So this is a very in-depth conversation about emotions. Let me get my information going. And just so you know, this is a little bit emotional talking about it, so I'm not necessarily bringing this up in a huge positive vibe way or very constructive manner of explanation of it. But I am following my heart and explaining this from my heart, and realization of how to be a better individual that I feel is important to be for me. But I do care about you, and I do want you to be safe, and I want you to be secure. But I also need to be safe and secure too. So we need to accept each other's needs individually. So when you talk to that person, think about that. Let them back in, be honest with them about your feelings, but also let them be honest about theirs. Have belief they love you. Think as if they will be able to fully tell you everything, even if it doesn't come out calmly or rationally. Okay? So I'm just repeating that because it's a very important statement. Just let them express. Have belief that they let you express, regardless who leads the conversation. Just know that person may want something different than what you have to offer. Now, what I would recommend is if you've been abused and they tried to say that I never said that or I never said this, and they try to use that against you, um, that's why any conversation I have with my family now, because of the lack of being there for me and the lack of me feeling like they're there for me, I've had to record every conversation I have with every friend and every person, even if I trust them and care about them. I record every conversation. I record everything because I'm a minister now as well for my safety because of how I've been treated. Now, if there's a lack of recording or recording disappears or something happens, then I just don't associate with that individual when I notice that there's trickery going afoot or they're trying to alter. And so I stick away from that individual and I follow and I pray and let the higher form know what's happened. But the higher form already knows and corrects whoever caused it and focus on healing and forgiveness of all those who caused it. And that's what they do in the project when they want to control you, is they isolate you and they turn your family against you and get them to think badly of you when you're actually a good individual that they should be near more on when you're doing your best to follow your heart and thinking goodly of them. See, I actually have this belief and understanding that when I manifest my desired life, regardless how my family has treated me, I know that they're suffering and pain. And so because of my empathic feeling of thought, when I have the funds, I want to give them funds to help them cover debts and issues they may require. But I'm going to give every family member equal amount. My parents, I'll probably give a bigger amount because they're my parents and they've done a lot more for me than a lot of my brothers and family have, or they've been willing to because they're my parents. But it doesn't justify my actions to them or their actions to me for me gifting them this. It doesn't make up for the lack of being there for each other. This is just to help them because that's what I want to help them with. I've planned on doing that. That's where my heart has always been. And I also plan on doing that for friends that were my friends, even ones that gave me ultimatums. I'm going to give things to one friend and try to get it to the other friend through that friend. But I'm not going to do it because his brother threatened me. And so I have been very concerned about the threats of those individuals. But they did it in a hypocritical way where they were doing even worse or even accused me of something that I didn't even do that their own brothers were doing. And so that's how that religion is. They turn on you or push you when you're trying to confide with them on something that you're concerned about or questioning in a heartfelt manner of questioning, and then they turn it on you or put you down. And so they like to put people down that are weak, that are physically disabled or had disabilities and misunderstood needs. And so I'm actually grateful for those things that they all did because it helped, not for the bad they did, but for recognizing how horrible that is so that I can learn what good is more. And I was able to now know what is better to do in life. And so I follow my heart and I care about everybody and I want everybody to heal. And I know we can. And I figured out how to do it. And that's why certain societies and people are trying to stop you and others from listening to my videos and awareness of them because of the knowledge of free healing and manifesting that's there, that our A's and texts tell us we're meant to. But it's okay because it's still getting out there. There's still good people stopping people from hearing me out. So it's changing. It's becoming better, and we're correcting the world. It's really cool. So I have belief they love you. Think as if they will. Able fully tell you everything, even if it doesn't come out calmly or rationally. So be aware that they love you. So Don't expect that they expect anything from you, but belief in them. So let them offer what they feel they need for themselves. So when they express, um, um, let them offer what it is they require, and then be honest whether you can handle doing that. But that you'll keep that noted, and when you have the ability to do those things, you'll do that, or you'll let others do it. But be honest about that. Be aware of that, and be inspired. But say that you'll at least pray and meditate with them if they want to in that manner, or let them know your knowledge of what you know and have belief in that you can do. Now they may not have belief in that or feel good about doing those things, and that's okay. Don't expect that they expect anything from you, but believe in them. Those who have believed the way I do are actually very easy to understand. Just listen, give your true heart to them, hear them out. They may want more than you ever thought possible. Yeah, they may want to do what you want to do, and they may be hoping that they do. They're just lacking in understanding that that's what you're about, or that's what you're mentioning is wanted or needed or has gone through. So they're only listening to those others that don't know you enough or act like they do and have spied on you and have misinterpreted your needs or made assumptions secretly about you when you're not really any of that. So even if you don't have belief or um, think it's right, it's not about right or wrong. It's about happiness. The reason why happiness is important is it clears people's minds up. It heals them and you. Now, if they feel upset, let them get it out. Let them talk it out, and take the time. Give a whole day. Tell them, okay, let's get together and plan a day to openly tell each other. Make sure it's just you and them. I've tried doing that with my family, but then they reverse and don't like doing that. They act like they want to do that, but they won't offer to do that. They want you to offer to do that, but then when you offer, they play games with that. That's some will do that. When you notice they're playing games, you notice that there is a psyop going on. So I've learned that my family may not even be my family anymore, and if they are my family, they've taken upon tactics that they think are therapeutical, but that aren't. Uh, them not 5-on-1 or 3-on-1, but you and them. Let them decide where they feel comfortable and be respectful of wherever you are. Stand up, have faith, hope, and belief. So, another thing I've noticed is talk to them, communicate with them, be honest to them, and have a heartfelt feeling about each other. Don't put each other down or think wrongly of one another, or get your children or others to look at what is being said to trick the children into thinking that see what they're doing, and they'll go, oh, yeah, I did see what they're doing, Dad, I agree. No, the children are going to adapt to what their parents want when they have a bond with their parents. They're going to think in the way the parents do. They're not going to think objectively or not objectively, or with their hearts as much. They might if they have good hearts, but they want to please their parents because they think their parents have good insight, and they want to lift their parents up because their parents have lifted them up. But those that need lifting up around them, if you don't teach the children to care for those individuals too in the same way, and only in your way of thinking, that's hurtful for others. You want all of them to look at everybody equally and heartfelt as you should as well, so that everybody's feelings are being represented and heard. Also, it's good to have a peacemaker there if you both need backup due to fear. Then that make sure that each is on the same page. If they show up with someone else that you didn't expect to be there and it's too much, leave and call and tell them that. If they have no phone, let them No, you're not comfortable with the atmosphere. Each person has to be willing. Emotion is powerful. Um, think it can make the wind and storms rage by the anger someone resonates. It can cause mountains to shift and break oceans and waters to recede and flow different directions. When you have love, hope, faith, you can calm these seas and things. Let the world know you love one another. Be there for each other. Value one another with your heart. Have belief in one's mind is healed. Yeah, so think that people aren't mentally deranged. If you are hearing and saying that they're mentally deranged, act as if they're not mentally deranged. And even if they say that, say, you know what, um, I may not agree with what you're feeling and thinking about me. You're focusing and judging me for me following what I feel is right and aware of what I've witnessed that you're saying didn't happen, but you weren't there to know whether it happened or not. But you're acting like you were. That's inappropriate. You need to take people's benefit of the doubt and awareness. Or if you forgot the situation happened and you were there and did cause it and that individual felt that way, they said, well, this is what happened. This is how I saw it. I remember it happening exactly in this pattern. And it did hurt me. Uh, do you think that's right for that kind of thing to happen? And they say no, that's not right, um, and that they are sorry. And so when my brother told me that, I felt glad that he felt sorry, but he was mad at me for something that I didn't understand what he was mad at me about, and he was judging me for another individual's situation rather than an individual me and them situation. And so they were trying to stand up for the other brother, but the other brother didn't want to communicate with me and chose not to. So, and he thinks it's justified that that other brother or other person doesn't do that. And I think that's okay. They want to heal in their own way. But if they lack the understanding that I actually do care and want them to have their dreams, even if I'm not in their life because they don't feel comfortable having me be there, I want them to have a happy life. I really do. I pray, I cried for their happiness. When they get hurt, I feel hurt that they got hurt, even if it was by me. But I don't let myself be beaten for that. I forgive myself and I forgive them for a lack of understanding and empathy for each other and not willing to hug one another. When I want to hug them, they don't want to hug me. And it's really hard because I want to make up for what we've done to each other and I want to feel validated for my pains too of what I've gone through that I feel they've done to me as well. But I don't want them to live in that pain or be hurt by the pain that I felt they hurt me in. All I want is us to be honest about how we felt with each other, and then let's heal one another and let's meditate and manifest our desired life. Let's pray for things to happen and know that they will. So also share your gifts. If they lack something that you can do, help and do what it is they want. We benefit more when we help one another and belief in one another in a generous manner to that person's needs and wants. Find a way to share common goals. Be open to each other about each other's thoughts and dreams. Be open-minded to one's belief. And when you open your life up to true love, then great. Then great. Also see yourself recognized and then react with love. Then also be aware of life and reactions. See the future. See the life they and you have now, and see as if it changes into reality for them. Even if you don't believe this, when you think the way, you will notice a change. You and them will become closer, and it doesn't mean you have to go through the past pains they or you did to each other. Do something simple. First, think is what they need, they already know. Offer when they ask at the same time. They may already know what it is they want, but don't think as if they do. Just have beliefs as if they are what it is you feel will make them happy. Not what you think or personally have belief, but think whatever it is they personally need to be happy is a real for them. And as you trust in them and what they know, what they need for them is their then everything is good. Especially with people with disabilities and health problems that people have chosen to ignore. We need to be aware of those people's health and issues. My brothers have had surgeries and issues, and I haven't ignored the recognition of those things, but they haven't been upfront or talking or communicating to me of those needs. But I've told my mom, and I thought my mom would tell everybody else, and they've told mom, and they thought mom would tell everybody else, but our mom never really did. And so, or our dad never really did either, or they misinterpreted those needs or situations because mom and dad thought wrongly about what was really going on. And so there was lack of communication because everybody's busy. So when I realize what has been going on with someone and I hear or I see something, then I will be there for them. But I've been staying away from family because whenever I have reached out, they haven't respected the reach out. Now, there have been some brothers or some sister-in-law who is cultural from Brazil or different stuff. The ones that have that culture of love, they hear me out and they've been there for me more unconditionally than the rest have. And the rest have kind of been there in their way of being there. But I have done a lot for those individuals, and I wanted to do a lot for each family in the way that I know that family would want it in. But because I don't know what they really want and what they really would hope for, and I lack the ability to understand them because they lack the ability to understand me as well, because they haven't tried to bond with me like the other brother has. It's really difficult to deal with it. Plus, I've tried to avoid certain families because I have tried to reach out to them and then they played games against me and taught badly and then got mom and dad to come at me for things that weren't even what I did. And they put me down for trying to fit in with them. And I just got sick and tired of the tricks and abuse that was done in that emotional verbal abuse and trickery that they were doing and agreed to do, probably because of secret projects telling them to, or it felt as that was the case. Regardless, if they weren't doing that, they were at least helping those in the projects without even knowing they were. And so I was abused in other issues, and they ignored and think it's justified for the religion to allow that abuse being done. They say they're sorry for it, but they haven't tried to hug me and be there for me for the pain that happened at that time or that is isolating me even now or has. So that's why I'm all about manifestation and praying, because there is pain in my life and I want to get rid of that pain, and I know that it can work when more people are coming together in that prayer. I'm doing it myself, but I can only do so much. I'm doing as much as I can. Please forgive my doubt in that, but I have done a lot, and I have healed cancer and other things by being drawn, but it's only helping me just a little. But that was still a big deal, because how many people do you know have figured out how to cure cancer and manifest healing and heal burns within 2 days just by doing organic oils and doing natural things? Those that know that, they understand how important it is to do that. But I got drawn to it on my own through other pieces from different people. And then I got pieces of knowledge from different places, not always from one individual. And then I found one individual that knew all the knowledge I already knew. And so we probably ended up meeting each other at the right time, or they learned from me or knew because they were spying or part of the projects, and now they're equal with me because they realize my journey. And so I just don't understand it, although with the idea that people know that meditation and group meditation is so important to do and we can do it freely. And I just wonder where are the people that want to do that? Will you do that with me? You can call me. My phone number is 801-499-4494 and do it with me in the way that I feel I want to do it in for me. And then I can talk to you about how you want to do it for you, and we can try to work around what you feel is needed. If I'm able to physically and health wise do that, or have the funds or needs to do it in the way you feel is needed, I'll do what I can by my health and needs. But when our lack of needs are taken care of and we're able to do, we can manifest more. So we should come together and be there for one another, especially those who have the means to do it for me. So please, it's really important, because not allowing those things to be done for me that have been done to me, ignoring those abuses done to me, and allowing those religions and those secret governments to just do it and not take it seriously in helping heal those problems that happened, even if you weren't the cause, but your religion was or could have been. Why are you allowing them to do that and not stand up for doing what's right, like should be, like the religion is said to teach, but they're doing the opposite? So let's be there for one another fully and help each other's medical needs and health for the medical needs and health that they actually know help them and feel works, but also give them knowledge of what full healing helps if they're unsure. Don't put them on the wrong path. Let them be aware of other ideas of natural healing and energy healing type techniques, because those are important. So I learned a way that we can do it in a even faster, amazing more way and get more holistic full body health care and get a massage every week, twice a week, or every other day, or at least twice a week or once a week is good. But it's to have a massage chair at home for those times and have people help you when things are out of whack and needed, and then healing it with energy healing and eating proper foods help heal those pains and issues. So we're on page 163, the last paragraph here. Let's not fear the unknown. Yeah, so, but before I do that, let me read a little bit before this. So I said, so feel will make them happy, not what you think or personally have belief, but think whatever is they personally need to be happy is real or healed or manifest for their stress-free life and freedom. And as you trust in them and what they know, what they need to for them is there, then everything is good. Now, if you don't feel you can trust them, then find people like me who will let you be you, but don't be negative around me or put negative thoughts. If you do, I'll try to say positive thoughts for you. But I there's too much abuse in the words of energy. Let's focus on non-judgments as best as we can and forgive it. I'm not going to think that you're going to do bad. If you bring up bad things, I'll just say, well, what is it you're expecting from this? What is it you're wanting to do? What is it you think works? Because I'm aware of the science that our thoughts and our feelings create reality. So the more we talk about the pains, the more pains we'll get. So let's forgive the pains and talking of the pains that we've done, and let's start in this meditation together. Let's just forgive those individuals that have done those pains to us and bless them so that they can be healed like we want to be healed. And so we're blessing for them, not just for us. So that's how I look at things. I want my family, even if they misunderstand me and I misunderstand them, or friends or other people that used to be friends or that have given up on me, I want to love them anyway, even though they have chosen not to be there for me in the way that they feel they have chosen not to because they probably don't feel they can handle it. But they've judged me wrongly um, because they needed their focus to be elsewhere of their choice, and that's fine. But it doesn't mean that I don't still care and don't want them to be healed, and it doesn't mean they don't want me not to be healed. They just have a different approach of how it can be in their mind, but that way of thinking about me is untrue. Of thinking that I need to do a job or thinking I need to do something that I feel is not safe for me to do, but that their thinking is okay. For me, I need what I need for me, not what others think would be good for me. I'm aware of what has happened when I have tried doing those things and it wasn't good. And I realized why it wasn't. And so I'm doing the next safe step of recognition and I'm following my heart and inspiration, and it's helped me. But I'm also being targeted secretly by people for not choosing to go those other paths too. But by them pushing me towards those other paths, they want me to naturally get hurt, but they're secretly hurting me secretly. And I will not lie about that not happening. I know it's been occurring. And even if it sounds strange or weird, if it really is happening, why would you not understand how scary and this secretly eerie this is? If you ignore what I and others have noticed is happening to us, then this could happen to you next and your children and those you love. They will do it to them, to you. You ignoring this abuse, and then if you step out of line in the way they think you step out of line in your own way, then they'll do the same thing to you that they've done to me. That's how they fear control you. They're doing Nazi Germany tactics. They're doing slavery tactics, abusive tactics. Maybe not as harsh as chemical showers and things like that they did, or cutting off limbs and boobs and nailing it on their walls like Hitler was said to have done. And I saw it in history books that when I was in high school, our teacher taught us. I don't know how true that is, but if that's true, that's horrible. But the thing is all of these things are all propaganda, so we don't know what's real or what, but we can't. They try to make people also that were good look bad, but I do know that there's a lot of trickery, and they've done it, and all politicians, all societies have caused these problems. So when you find out that ancient texts are talking about ancient healing, that heals these problems, and you have natural cures, organic food that keep you and rebuild your bones, and that medicine isn't the cure, but the natural cures are your medicine, that are natural foods and not genetically altered, you start to wake up and realize how important this is. So I wanted you to be aware of that. So let's go into this next part. So let's not fear the unknown. Let's cheer for the new. Learn and be patient to the ideas of others. But if it be destruction, enslavement, or abuse of any kind, verbal or physical or sexual or whatever, then belief in that their way is changing. Promote and follow the way that is good, and promotes the opposite that provides growth, and show this to them. Have belief they recognize and come to cherish what you have come to cherish. Share this thought, this love, this appreciation. It's all about belief and love in happiness in others. Those who feel that they like to be alone, know that I still hope for your dreams. Do what makes you happy, feel happy, and relax, and see what it is you want from life. And I know it is real to me. Some would like to respect people, to have belief and follow their faith. Some wish to judge. Some do both. I say, even for them that do that, slowly be around them or slowly pull away if it's unsafe, okay? Be there for others at a distance if you need to, but always think goodly thoughts, even if it's hard. And when you do it as a group for those people, it's a lot easier. So when you love and think goodly of them and bless away the pain that's been done and not think badly of them, even if they've done bad, so that they can trip up in their bad, so that they can do good instead. But we don't need to say that they'll trip up. We just need to say that they're going to start being healed in the pain, so that they can, we can heal from our pains too. So then they'll stop doing any painful things. They'll just be inspired to. They'll realize their faults, or they'll have the needs that they've been wanting, so they won't have to do those things to try to get it the way they thought they needed to get it from you, which was inappropriate. Many people feel they deserve an apology, and until then, they won't reach out. So I don't really feel like I need an apology from my family. And I don't feel like I need to apologize for things that I've chosen to do, because I don't hate them or am irritated by what they have done much anymore. They did what they felt was right, what they think was good. But if they think that I deserve more pain and they want to keep doing that to me, or they want to ignore the pain that's been done to me when they're still following that same pattern, that's not healthy for me or them. So I've had to stay away from them because of their negative beliefs about me and not taking my needs and health seriously enough. And so I've done what I have to, and if I die, I'll die, and I'm okay with that, because I've done what I know is right. But I was told by a higher form I won't, and to tell people how we can heal and what helps heal and natural foods, and then the system will change, even if it doesn't feel like it will. People that are choosing not to do good will be outed, and it will be shown, and everybody's sins and everything will be shouted on the rooftops, is what the scriptures say. So all the people who say that they're following a belief of their God and belief system, well, all their lies are coming out, all their deceit and all their abuses are coming out. But also false abuses and teachings are being told about other people and about me that aren't true, that people misinterpreted, or that happened, but that was something that had to deal with abuses they did to me, and then I perpetuated and reacting to try to fit in with them, and that was wrong of me back then. But I was just doing what I thought that was to bond with them. I didn't know it was bad necessarily. I wasn't even trying to do it in a bad way, but it turned out that, and I feel horrible. And I realized and I changed, and I choose not to follow that idea anymore. And I forgave myself for that, and I asked for forgiveness. But those that choose not to, I don't believe I won't be able to enter heaven because someone else doesn't forgive me. I think I'll be okay. I know I'll be okay because I do have forgiveness for them. I know that they're following what they think is okay to do, but I also know it's better to think better and to hug and appropriately, and to help manifest and just have fun with each other. Learn each other's hobbies. I have a lot more in common with a lot of them than many of them think I do. And I've noticed that. But they have followed the other half of focus and thought. See, they're trying to relate, thinking they relate in certain ways to look good, and they're not really being the real them, the full them. They're getting sensitive of feelings, doubt about me, that I doubt them or hate them is what I've noticed, but I don't. I may not be around them, but it's because of my health is affecting me. I'm doing what I can. That's why I need more people to pray and take those things seriously and be aware of those needs. I've learned how to heal stronger than I was when I was following their food eating, and that's why it's so important to have that. And so let's manifest that. Let's help each other. If they really care and love, then why not they find ways to help provide those things freely for me in the way that I know is needed, so that I can heal and then be able to have what's needed. I prefer to manifest the funds that can come, and I know I'm more of a dreamer, belief in dreams of manifesting as a reality now, more than most, even those in those beliefs of that idea. So here we go. So I say this, all those who feel hurt by me or anyone, know that we all are sorry for the miscommunication of the past, present, and future that you focus and think on, that we may or may not know or remember about. So I ask you myself, please have forgiveness um, uh, uh, for me and forgive them. Ask you myself. So I ask you and myself, please forgive me and forgive them. And I do. I forgive and I care and I actually follow my heart more. I really woke up when I left the religion that I realized was abuse and became my own minister. It really opened up my heart. But when I got away from allowing the beliefs of my family to dictate my life, when it got dangerous, when they were threatening that I'm not safe to follow what has been safe to heal me and help me, that's when I realized that I can't be near them and that I still welcome them when they're able to be appropriate and healthy for me. But if they're not, I can't have them in my life. It doesn't mean I don't want them in my life. I do when they're appropriate, when they're willing to focus on good thoughts and feelings for me and take my awareness seriously and trust my insight that saved my life, that they know saved my life. But they're ignoring that awareness and they're thinking that I need to do other things that I've told them I can't do. Even my doctor knows if I do would paralyze and brain dead me if I worked because of the fracture in the lower back and the metal. So that's why I need to heal more with these foods. But to have the funds to do that is necessary. And so that's why manifesting and having people help support that manifesting to create, to have some miracles show up, which I know I was promised is meant to happen, and then do that for others. That's what we're meant to do. There are many churches right now that are helping their members. They're helping their members in California where they're paying for people's health care bills and they're paying for their debts and coverage of all their bills, of their education and everything just for being a member of their church and congregation. A mega church has done that in California. And that's awesome that they did that for their members. And they did it freely for those individuals based on what it sounded like in the article. I don't know if they did, but there's a lot of churches doing more giving than the LDS church has chosen to. The LDS church only wants to give to its members, but we need to give to people that aren't members too. I'm not part of that church. You're supposed to be giving to those that aren't part of your same belief system. Christ did that. He said give to the poor and the needy. He didn't say give to the poor and the needy that are only of your faith and belief system. He said give to all. Do for all. Even if you have different belief systems or orientations and ideas. Be there for all. Give what is required to the law, but give to the poor and the needy as well. Give to what is required to law, and then give to God what is God's. What is God's is just to be there for one another, love one another, do charity. That's your tithing. You don't need to give to churches. You're giving to churches so churches can give to the people within those churches. That's what it's supposed to do. And you don't need a tabernacle prayer or place to be. It's nice to have those places, but you need to be able to be willing to help those that can't give, that would love to give to the church, but it's because of their health needs are being lacking. And they're saying, give more tithing, but we have $100 billion, and our interest alone covers the buildings that the tithing is supposed to help the buildings for. You know what? You have enough interest now. You don't need the other anymore. Unless you start building more buildings. And even if you build more buildings, you have plenty enough to still cover that too. And so don't expect the poor to pay for what they can't pay for. It's not healthy for them. And if they are, you need to give back to them more than what they've given for their actual needs. And then they'll pay tithing on those what you've given them, but give them enough so that they can cover their needs and pay tithing back if that's what you require them to. So come on, grow up, people. I'm serious. We got to be better. And so our emotions also provide fuel for thought. That so here's something I'm going to say a little bit here. So those who feel they like to be alone, know that I still hope for your dreams. Do what makes you feel happy. Okay, that you have come to cherish. Share this thought, this love, this love, this appreciation. It's all about belief in love, in happiness in others. Those who feel they like to be alone, know that I still hope for your dreams. Do what makes you feel happy and relax and see what it is you want from life. And I know it is real to me. Reach out to me, talk to me, even if you're a loner or like being a loner. Talk to me, or that you feel you have to be, or feel that people think you are. You know what? Reach out to me, even if I'm not reaching out to you. Because the reason why I don't reach out, because I don't know that you will accept my reach out unconditionally in the way that I can reach out in. And also I have a lot I want to be there for, but I don't want to push it on you or pressure it on you. That's why I don't reach out. But if you reach out to me, I hear you out and I do my best to communicate in the way I can. If I talk a long time, I talk a long time. If I talk simply put, I'll talk simply put. All I really want to do is meditate and pray and create reality. I have videos that I can just show you that are like 15 minutes or 30 minutes. They're usually about 15 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes long of Greg Braden stuff so that you can understand what I'm about. But then listening to my heart and then doing it, even if it sounds silly with me, it's just really simple. It's just praying. It's just feeling in your heart and thought that it already is, and trusting that the God or Creator hears you and that the universe hears you, and then it creates reality. Is that so hard to do? No, it's not. I say even for them that do that. So some would like to expect people to have belief and follow their faith. Some wish to judge. I say even for them that do that, slowly be around them, be there for others. Many people feel they deserve an apology, and until then, they won't reach out. So I say this: all those who feel hurt by me or anyone, know that we all are sorry for the miscommunication of the past, present, and future that you focus and think on, that we may or may not know or remember about. So I ask you, myself, please forgive me, forgive them. Our emotions also provide fuel for the thought we have. So when we focus on good emotions, then the thoughts become good and happen for the good. But be genuine and honest. Don't be fake in your being there. If you say you love someone and care, be completely authentic, genuine with what you can give. You know, last Christmas I gave some funds to my family, even though I have lack of them. And I gave it to them to show them that I still am thinking of them above me. So I gave more than what I had to them from funds that were given to me from someone else to help me. But I gave it to them for Christmas to show that I'm still thinking of them. And when I gave them those funds for Christmas time in 2019, I gave it to them and I told them this. I said, use this with your children and family that are married or whatever. Get them all together and watch a movie with each other. And you know, here's some funds for you to go rent a movie and watch it together in your home, to come together and bond with each other, or get a game or play games and get some snacks that you want. I don't agree with the type of snacks that a lot of them may want to eat, but I'm letting them know that, you know, do what they want. I have my thoughts about what's healthy and knowledge, but I'm not going to expect them to follow what I think is right. But I would hope they respect those needs for me, if they try to offer anything for me, and be aware of it. And I gave more than I had, and I did that for them. But they like to give more to look good above others, is what they've done. They always want to be the one that gives more to look good, to see that they're more genuine and loving than the others. But their gifts weren't as heartfelt as my own, I feel. I think the gifts that they give were great. They were willing to do that, but they didn't really understand what I really fully needed. They knew what I need, but I think they've been ignoring it, and they have chosen not to see how serious those needs are. And I have tried to explain it to them many times, and even on these videos I've said it, but they only listen to the things that they think are being pointed at them and putting them down, when it's not about putting you down. I'm not meaning this to put you down. You taking it that way is on you. I'm telling you this from my heart, that there are things that I need, organic vegan foods and non-GMO. Talk to me about it. I have an Amazon wish list that I've shared and told family about, and put it on my page many times, so that people know about it and understand that these are particular needs. And then they say that I never did that, and yet I did. So that is the warfare, psychological warfare I've had them do to me. But so of course we're not bonded or communicating as well, because they've chosen to do that at that time. But I see that they can change, and I see as if they will, and I'm hoping that they will. I'm holding to hope that they will. And when they do, I appreciate when they do, even small little things. And I still remember some of the good things they've done. But I have noticed others have done even more oppressive stuff, and I appreciate those that actually recognize those needs. And those individuals I really appreciate. And they judge me because of their culture has taught them not to. And American culture teaches you to be more sensitive, and it's all about you instead of others. And it's really about everybody. I want to help people in the way that I know they want to be helped in. But I also don't feel like giving them what I know may harm them. And so I have a hard time doing that. So I'll give them funds to go do the things that will help them. And that's what my mom has done, or others have done for me, because they think I should go for other foods rather than what I know I've realized that has helped me, and that the doctors have noticed helped me. So when we are feeling hurt or down, and we focus on love, focus to show love and to prove our love, even if it doesn't need to be proven. We show with our mind, we express with our heart. Sometimes we cry it out. We express it with our whole soul. Be patient with their response. Be open to helping them understand your needs, not expecting you to be different than what you can offer, but offer as much as is needed, and as much as you are able and willing, and explain to them that you do whatever is needed within your reasons. Be honest, the reason for resistance, but be open to providing an answer, and recognize the similarities, and help one another see the common goal that you both want in the argument or discussion. Just beware of each other's perception. Doesn't matter who is true and who is felt. What matters is each other and how they feel. Let it all out. Then feel that it will heal you both at the same time. If it's me, no, I don't expect perfection. I want answers. I want honesty. And yet, if someone can't, out of fear, belief, their fear is gone, and it will be. And then when they see your true intention and are ready to open up, plan a day to do something fun. Have a good time. Don't control or hold anything over each other. Just have belief that each one knows what they need. And if they ask for advice or help in the way they want, not in the way you think they need. Just have belief in their wants and needs. And if you can't do that, or if you're unable to in the way that they expect you to do it in, be honest about that. Say, this is how I feel I can do things, and I'll do this. If I had the funds or manifested needs, then I would do more. And I plan on doing that. I exactly already put things aside. I wrote things down. I did sketches of what money I'm going to give people. I did fake little checks for my brothers and family. I have those. I'm not even lying. I have those on the side. I won't share them, and I won't put the pictures on YouTube of it because I don't really want to share their private name or information necessarily. I want people to know that even if I accidentally did share people's names, I apologize. I have done my best not to as much as possible in my videos. There has been pains where I felt I needed to say stuff because of things I found out they were doing to me secretly to others, to me, that were causing me pain and harm. And I couldn't not say who they were because of that abuse that I felt was happening. But I do my best not to, but I'm not going to hide those abuses. This releases tension. Also, they're all taller than me and buffer and stronger, and I'm a crippled. And so them being afraid of me and putting me down and telling me down when I'm already physically ill, health deprived, problems, I am a victim. And they're like, oh, you act like you're a victim. I am a victim. I've been victimized. But so have they in other ways by other people. And they feel like I'm victimizing them or that I'm a threat to them. I'm freaking shorter than them and weaker than them and have physical health issues. They know I broke 13 bones my first year of life. Don't my brothers and family know that? They should know me better. They know I went through hell. And yet they ignore it. And I know they've gone through some hells, but they ignore that I can relate with their hell. I dealt with relationship problems, even though they're married and stuff and had divorces. I had things that I thought I was going to be married, and then someone gave me up, and I cried and bawled because I thought the person was supposed to be the one. And then I had other people treat me and put me down and not relate with me, and my family wasn't there to hug and be there for me to understand my feelings. And so I had to do it all alone. And I had no one to vent to. Even when I tried to vent to my friends, none of them really related to me as much. Some tried, but they couldn't. They were busy with their own stresses. But I was there for many people that tried to kill themselves. And I did see things happen to friends. I had a friend that had a car accident. I was there for him when I heard, and I still was there for his wife whenever she called me or asked me. I took time out of my health issues to go up there, even bought things for myself so that I could go be near her and help her son and be there before she just got remarried to someone now that I think is a really cool dude, from what I could tell and notice. But I don't know, but he seemed really nice and seemed pretty genuine. My whole thing is I don't have those friends in my life. They're all busy, and I haven't had anybody reach out to me as much as I would require that help. I want people to meditate and pray with me in the way that I'd like to. And I've tried to find groups that do that. And then when I find them, they only want to do it in the way that they want to do it in rather than the way that I know energy science says we can do it in. And some of them want to earn money, and they've tried helping me, but then they've misinterpreted me, and then they threatened me. And I'm just like, what is going on with people? Why is everybody wanting to threaten everybody? Let's just pray for one another. Let's just hug, or if we don't feel comfortable hugging, let's meditate and believe the person already has what they want. Talk about it until it comes true, because it does. Have children pray and have them do it too. 3 or more people doing it helps even stronger. It's very simple. It's not a big deal. And don't think that they need to pray in the way of your belief system to your God. Let them pray to their God. Let you pray to yours and believe that it will work. Pray to your belief of energy connection. And whatever is will listen and provide it. That's how you should think. That's the best way to do it. Or at least that's how I feel. And those are the people I want in my life that can do that. And if there are people that say they really love me, then let's do this, please. Let's do that. This is why I do these recordings, so people can hear this. And so this is a really important recording. Chapter 10, I've always told people, listen to chapter 10 because it's a really big eye-opener for my feelings and what I'm really about and what I really want to be. And I'm correcting those feelings now. So anyway, when you do this, help in the way they want, not in the way you think they need. Just have belief in their wants and needs in the way that you can. And be honest to them about it. Don't be cryptic. Don't hide it. Be open, even if they respond badly. If you tell me and you're genuine about it and you're not trying to be sarcastic and you don't think I'm going to respond bad, then it's okay. Now, if I respond bad because we don't have a good relationship, forgive me because I'm still going through pain with you. But I do care. And so we can just say, let's put judgments aside. What is it you need, Sam? And I will say, well, what I really need is someone to meditate with me in the Greg Braden way of that, and then my own tailored way of it that I know works with it, combination. And then just do it for 3 or 10 minutes, and then we can do it again. But I would prefer to do it as long as we can until it happens. To talk about my dream life as reality helps, and then do that, blessing it into being after you know what it is we're focusing on and thinking that it's okay and it will happen. You don't need to know how I'll get the funds and how I'll get the things. It'll just happen in the way I know I can handle it in. Don't believe that I'm just going to get it from a job. Believe that I'll get it from whatever avenue is healthiest for my health needs, and that it will be freely given, not strings attached. And that's how I want to look at it as. So there you go. Just told you. That's that simple. This releases tension and stress and fear. And then you can both relax more when you do this. When you put judgments aside and you heal and forgive the pain, then it heals those past pains. And then you can communicate better about those things. Once you have the needs that are met, then you understand the person more on why they were acting bad. And it was because of their lack of appreciation, lack of support, and lack of understanding of their stresses and situation that was holding them back. It's because of their physical health was holding them back. Just be honest to your intentions. No masking your feelings or intentions. Be genuinely open with a true love like Christ-like love. And you don't have to follow Christ-like if you don't believe in a Christ idea. Peacemaker ideas. Gandhi, Mother Teresa, all of those individuals who talk peace. But the ancient text talks about it, and Christ brings up ideas of that ancient healing ability and was said to heal. But Muhammad might have said positive things too, but it doesn't mean I agree with everything that was said by either one of them in the way that people interpreted it. I'm about the positive, optimistic viewpoints that they've done, not the negative, evil points that they said to do, or that others chose to interpret and cause wars and rumors of wars and problems to people. So as we live, or as we have life, we become, as we love, we provide and strive for new connections, new futures, because know the things, I think it's KNOW is what that should be. Know the things we have wanted, help us feel like we can do anything even more. So now I love you, I value you, I have blissful focus of peace, joyful, heartfelt feelings for you all. See the emotions that others provide you as good and as life. Yeah, so see it as life. See it as a life file. See it as a growth, as an Eden, as a miracle. And miracles will start happening because that is science connected. Now, energy science and spiritual connected. It's all the same connection, just different terminology. Now, many of us, but it's the same form of follow through. Now, many of us appreciate when people are selfless, and some act as if they are, then they turn on that person and use it to their advantage. Some people that go through that abuse then live in the abuse, or evil in that abuse. So I'm keeping it that phrase, live that abuse in their minds over and over. Some of us that have may not remember, but our minds will, and that is what causes stress in the body. And that's why many of us, if not all, have pains and disabilities, because our brains are reliving this over and over. And so it deteriorates us, breaks us down, makes us live through our problems, makes us fall and doubt ourselves and others. I am a very wise individual, and I've talked to therapists and I brought it up, and they already see that I think like a therapist, because the good ones have. There are many other therapists that may not, and that are part of the gang stalker programs, and then they know who they are. So what do? We find a way to heal. I was drawn to sciences of the brain and found healing chambers at brain wellness centers. So Theta Wellness Center, Theta is THETA, so the TA, so Theta Wellness Center in Sandy, Utah. I went there, but it was a pretty good amount of money to cover that. I did it with back pay I got from disability, but it only helped my anxiety situation, but it really gave me a spiritual experience where I saw a higher form at Brain Wellness Center. Whatever you need, you will be drawn to a permanent cure. The more you have belief, the more you will achieve. Think and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. As a man thinketh, so is his heart. So feeling and thinking go together. As we do this for each other, it helps immensely and eternally forever. As you think, you feel a feeling of that thinking. Those who don't feel and are comatose think good thoughts, or the thought that helps you do good for others. Maybe, so those that are in comas or in issues of like where they are basically not able to be something, just be aware that they're doing their best. Maybe you don't feel, maybe you think and have thinking knowledge due to your species evolving into thinking and thought and science building beings. No matter your circumstances, thinking for others is important, as well as for oneself. As you do, you grow. Your universe with more creation that's happy rather than rotten and destructive, or even worse, not thinking and ignoring others makes it even worse for your life and others' lives, not just the one you ignore. Regardless, as you help others, they can help you. Learn to feel through the thinking of your thoughts. Help you feel something in your mind's eye. At the same time, feeling for us is everything. We are feeling universe. At the same time, some beings don't think they feel, so they get startled or trip or get frightened. Well, that's feeling. So let's be true. Let's be helpful. Let's let each other grow together, not apart. Be understanding of each other's needs and fears and help them cheer. Help them have happiness when they're ready to. At the same time, belief as if they are ready now. Just belief, see it happening, be happy for them, and you see their future is real, see their desires is worth it, as okay as a reality, see the truth. So our feelings create our thoughts into the future feelings of what we think and feel is good or bad. So as a man thinketh, so is he, and everything else also. These are all both combinations for both science studies and spiritual connected and understand finally in the harmony and able to do what can truly help us all. So there are many of you that love fighting and love games and love destruction, that it entertains you, that doing these things in a virtual world isn't real reality and it helps you relax. Some people, it makes them want to do more. So no worries, this won't stop us from having fun. The things that make you personally happy will still be there. The movies that show fantasy and wishing it to be real is your dream. Doesn't have to be others. That's cool. Is you will get your dream, but so will others. So no worries. Um, there, there you attract what you like in your life. Just be careful what you're attracting into your life and don't react if it's bad. Just change what you want by having belief and focusing on what it is you wish the outcome to be. Your life and dreams matter to me, and those you love want your happiness. I choose what I choose, but for you, I care for what you want in happiness. I know for a fact that regardless of what it is, the meaning of wanting it can still be given you in a better way. The universe will provide the best for all its creation, but we can help other creations get it, and that's why people are lacking is because we're choosing not to bless others with that through meditation for one another, which it will help it happen faster. And when you heal people's pains, you help heal your pains because it is a small world. When you provide something to them, it gives them funds and abilities, and they may know people you know or will meet later or will be helped by that you know would help you. So how do you know that helping them doesn't help people that you know that will help you, even if the people you help don't help you? So help everyone that you can or that you feel okay to do so. I would like to help everybody around me. I just don't know when the right approaches are or whether or what others around me need or what would be beneficial for them. I don't want to flash my needs around it to everybody, and then some people will be left out. I want to have enough needs so that people can come to me to help be helped in. So, and then I want to find out what people want or require, and then I'll invest into companies and things that are natural cures and doctors and people that help their company grow that actually care for people. When I find out that they don't, I will not provide any more funding towards any harmful things they're doing. I'll still provide what I can, but I want to be able to adapt. I don't want to be stuck in a system that where I have to keep contributing. I want to be able to get out. I want to do a pay as I go type of thing, or be able to get out of any contract that I'm in if I don't feel right about what I find out they're secretly doing when I stumble upon things, or I don't feel right about certain things. But it doesn't mean I won't still pray or care about them. I want to still help and let them be aware of why, so that they know if they want to change, they can, and then I'll come and help them again. So anyway, so we may all want things, and yet not everyone wants a zombie apocalypse or war or destruction or things. The feeling that others want can still be given without the destruction destructive desires. Wanting those things has an inner reason for a feeling. That feeling will be given in a better way when you focus on why you want something. Sometimes it's so that you can have a life forever in a happiness of your liking, or to be able to be appreciated or looked as a hero, or to be the last person because you want to be someone that survives or thrives above others, because you knew how to keep going. So just enjoy those entertainments that offer that instead of trying to do it to others. Watch movies where you see a zombie apocalypse, or play games that do that, so that you can be within that realm of doing those things. So be that person within that realm, if that's the person you want, or the lifestyle you want to be part of, or enjoy, or to train just in case one happens in this reality, that you to be prepared, because some do it to be prepared. It's just people do it because they enjoy the adrenaline rush, or the teaching of the idea, or it's to push away pain about other people that they're irritated with, and they project it onto the game instead. But it still affects the person they're thinking of when you do that, and you don't really want to do that as best as possible. But I forgive you if you've done that to me or to others. Just be aware of it and then decide what you want to do. Just know that whatever you do to others is something that will affect you and get you later for doing it. You'll be caught and shown for doing those things, even if you don't think you can ever be. The great thing is the universe knows the best way for all to help make our happiness in the easiest, less destructive ways of our inner true reasons of those thoughts and desires. So think why you want something, find the inner reason, and then heal it. So instead of it causing harm, it heals. We like things that make us feel powerful and feel like we are the last or the first at something. Just know, regardless if you're last or first in your mind, you have what really matters inside, and your dreams that are of the good kind of becoming more and letting others do the same. Let us have what it is that is good, not what will destroy us. I choose to have belief in the good of your life and find and mind. I trust and pray for our future hearts and minds. I love you and always will. This life, the next, because I know that you are part of something, and that one time or another we need that for each other. So when you're down, remember that. When you're mad, upset, feeling like the world is against you, I feel your pain. I feel your doubt. And even if I don't, and many may never understand, I still want to and pray for you and see your future to me as real and heal the pain. I don't want to feel your pain. I want to heal our pains. My thoughts and feelings are for all those who welcome them in for good. Know that I will do my best to do this every day. I will pray, visualize, and just know you matter, and know your dreams are real now instantly. I see it now for real, not just saying it. I have belief, so belief with me as I see you doing, so I may not know you, but I can feel the love of all as I pray and connect with the universe and God's love forevermore. Now, as we control our emotions and don't let them control us, and we think for the good and love others and ourselves, aliens and others can't use those things as much against us. Those who try may succeed at first, then later, because of how powerful your love and heart and charity emotion is, you can create them to recognize. That's why it's good to come together and meditate, because that helps with the barrier to stop it. Recognize you're not afraid and brave. For me, I feel I am unique. I care and also recognize the other. I also try to adapt around the pain or the attacks. I choose to think good and be strong and have a lifelong and to have a long life. I am not afraid of death, nor am I afraid of life. In fact, I've grown so much, and I'm grateful for all I have seen and been affected by. It's awesome. Now, again, you're noticing that I'm rewording what I'm saying because I'm going over some of the things, and I may mess up here and there, but I correct whatever is needed to be said. But I'm following my heart, and that's what matters to me. Regardless of my flaws and weaknesses, I do what I feel is right, and I feel deeply about it. And I really want us all to heal and be okay. It's all about being there for one another from the heart. But if you can't be there physically, be there in your heart. We all matter and have power inside our minds, heart, and gut emotions. Our mind, our thoughts, our feelings, emotions is one. We have power through our emotions. I see as if the abductions, regardless why they happened, made me realize I really am being watched and observed, maybe even tested. Well, that's not new to me. It's just nice to know how and why now. At the same time, I'm grateful for my mind being strong, and I care for for the times my mind clears and sees what I want. And as I appreciate those things and feel good, they show up for me, you, and everyone. As an empathic person, I recognize things and can shape things. Also, I learned I have to control these powers and feelings personally a lot more than I noticed others do for their own. I found out I have amazing power. At the same time, we all do. My power has the ability to grow and chooses to grow for me and others. It connects with other connections of the air, the trees. If I ever have gotten and mad, the winds and the earth shakes. I realized from this that because I understand I have great powers, that my energy is so strong since I use it all the time that I must be careful with it and not underestimate it, as well as I realize that I have power within my mind. My mind has been gifted with great abilities, as well as your mind and soul has also. We all have those gifts, and our emotions are what can trigger them. When we're trying to change people to be what we think they should be rather than letting them be what they need and trusting their realization of heart and doing what we can to support them in that, helping them with our hearts and minds, and at least meditating and praying with them to be inspired in the way they need without dictating what the inspiration is for them. Let them have their own inspiration. Let them be aware of their own pain, because you saying that you know their pains when you're not really them in this lifetime right now, if you think you were, you need to be willing to do what you know they want for themselves and try that out for them. It will be a lot healthier and a lot wiser for them and you, because then miracles will happen. I'm serious, it does. And you choosing not to means you don't want a miracle for them. I want a miracle for them, but I want them to accept that I can do that miracle with them and that they're okay with that silly choice of doing. So use them to heal and defend the needy and the weary and protect the innocent. And if you're not sure or you think, ask before you react. Have belief that person changes. Don't harm, heal with the abilities. Sometimes when we don't forgive or we think and have belief others' lies, thinking they are telling the truth, we must first think, okay, let's give people benefit of the doubt and pray and have belief. When people achieve and are provided their needs, they no longer feed off of others to get it from them. Instead, people, once they have more, they're more open to give more. And when they are struggling, They also choose not to add more to their problems when healing comes from others. So let's have belief. Let's see as if things that look bad turn good. So you see someone with a creepy face or a bad smell or a, a moody atmosphere, go do good. Um, go do good to them or think good of them and have belief that whatever they are struggling with isn't there. See the dream, give them benefits of the doubt, and just have belief they are healed in all areas they want. When they're happy and have a strong foundation, then they heal. If you have belief that someone's mad because they don't have belief in your belief or in God's healing, belief they do. So see as if they heal for the way they need, and when they're happy, they're open to new happiness. Not in the way you think they need, but in the way they actually need. Whatever those needs and wants are requirements that matter. So follow the requirements that matter. First, be there for them. Learn from their experiences. Ask them, be open, but do it in their timing for the individual that you say you love. I love others in the timing they can, but sometimes they don't give me the timing that I can handle, so I lack the ability to do it as quickly as them. So even doing it in their timing doesn't always work. Because if you're not quick enough because of your own health, because your health affects to be able to be what they need, that's why we have lack of communication with each other and family and others. So we need to pray on the sideline and unconditionally and be open and have fun with them in the way they feel is needed. Let them open up, but ask, and if they open up, though, be open to what you asked of them. Be genuine in feeling and thought. Give time, belief that it won't be forever, but enough time that you feel is important. All of these ideas are in the Law of Attraction chapter. Check it out, my friends. Also, when you look down on someone's thoughts development, you actually destroy yours. If their thought development is a normal or exceptional, when you look down on them for past or current circumstances, you don't help them, but you trap them in becoming more of they have been and others around them, which also completely affects you more than you would think. But you have to acknowledge the pain that you're dealing with if they are hiding and acting like it never happened, because it did affect you, and that's why you haven't been able to communicate with each other. So that does need to be known. But if they can't handle it, forgive and try to talk to them and say, do you know what? You're right. Let's just not judge each other, and let's pray unconditionally for one another. Can you do that? Can you humor, and not humor in making fun, but can you benefit of the doubt with me in thinking in Christ's way of teaching of unconditional? See me as if I'm already doing whatever will provide me that which helps me to be free. Not in the way you think I should learn from, but in the way that I actually know is needed for me. Because I may have learned the things you don't think I've learned, but you're acting as though I haven't, and so it's making it not come out because you're judging that I'm not smart enough to know that, or that I haven't gone through that, because you don't know me. So you're prejudging me or prejudging the other person, and we need to not do that to each other. And even if we do, we need to forgive. And so let's focus on recognizing how they think by hearing them out on what they truly choose to be aware of. If you don't know what that is, ask them or read anything they put out, like this book I did for my life and yours. And also listen to this recording. These recordings give a lot more in-depth understanding than me reading, than this book says, because I have a different approach now. I look at things way differently than this, but I still look in a very peaceful focus more than I did before. I'm not putting conditions on things anymore. I'm letting us be aware of our pains and respect those pains, but then being open to doing what you feel you can do for you and forgiving that for yourself and them. And then just thinking simple and just being like, okay, I bless that your desired life is true. Now. And then we just keep doing that. We just say, now, it is. Yay, I have the house, I have the car. We just do it as long as it takes, and then things show up in our life. We get a call, we get a knock at the door as we do this. So we do it as long as it takes. We take at least 10 minutes. And then if it doesn't work at that time, we just think as if it still is on our own times away from each other. We're like, oh, Sam has that. He does have that. And we don't talk against it when other people say, hey, what did you talk to Sam about? Oh, we believe this. We focus on this. And that's what I'm focusing on. And that's what he feels he needs. So that's what we're doing. Even if it's silly or whatever, please stay with it. Don't put it down and say, it's a silly thing. He's making us do this, and I don't know if it's going to work. You know what? It's good to be honest, but say, you know what? But I want it to work because it matters. Even though if I don't know if it will, I hope it does because it really does matter to him. And I do know that he's gone through a lot, and I want him to be okay. And I know that I've gone through a lot, and he wants me to be okay, even if I don't know if he does. But it seems like he does. When we do this, we're doing it for each other. And that's all I want to do for my brothers and family and other people, is that. And then eat my food that I need to have, and then manifest the lack of the foods to show up, rather than pushing and saying, let's do a job or do this. Don't, let them have their own insight. Don't give them insight unless it goes along with insight that they would agree with. I know it's hard, but that's how it works for them. And that's how it works for me. And that's all I would like to do. For them, they may want medicines and things. And I'm going to say, I would say organic vegan, but they already know that. So I'm saying, then I bless that you get the medicines of things that you think are helping you. And that if it doesn't, you'll get something that does to make up for it. I know I had to go through that process. I did medicines first, and then I noticed they weren't helping, and then I got told by someone. I also didn't feel good about eating meats because I didn't like the torture happening to animals. But it was more of, I realized what Daniel said in the Bible as well, and others, and I believed in the Bible stories growing up, or realizations of them. And so I tried it out, and it worked. So even if the stories are fake stories or altered stories, it came from ancient texts of all religions teach the same thing. So there's an origin that it comes from. And that's something I stumbled upon about organic vegan eating. So anyway, natural and non-chemical and not nanotech and not harmful radiation, vibrations, or brainwave controls. So not everyone will choose to do the same as you or me. Many won't want to write a book because they like their thoughts kept to themselves or their ideas hidden. If people really know how they thought, they might steal those ideas from them, is what some think. Well, this book journal is different. I wrote it for you to be aware of something huge that can help you, not to harm you. I believe in healing, finding ways to heal, to be loved, to feel appreciated, no matter what your health situation is or your living or life circumstance, your nationality, or even your soul. It's about even your sexual preference. It's about being there for all beings, so that all beings have a chance for a positive, optimistic life and eternal life in life. I have belief in you and know you are your dream life, that your life is great and all your needs and wants, such as car, dream house, dream spouse, and life, are what you need and want them to be for yours and their happiness. Also see that even your eternal life, whatever it may be, will and is amazing. Be open to a future after death and see if there is, that it's awesome, and that if you are meant to be more, to welcome whatever that is for yours and all those you love and beyond all time and eternity for good forever. Yeah, I was part of that church, and they bring up time and all eternity a lot. And even if there is no eternity, even if you don't desire eternity, you'll have whatever form of realm you'll have, and that is. But I want the next form of life, if there is one for you and me, to be peaceful and healing. And I want this life to be healing so that the next life can be more healing than just waiting for the next to be healing. So let's say you feel that the only way that someone will give you something or provide you the money you have belief in is to think as if it happens at the time by someone that you know believes it, or has belief in it. So if you have belief, I'm the only one that's okay. At the same time, have belief bigger in order for someone to want to be able to you have to believe they're in the position to do so. So what I'm saying is, if you want someone to give you money or provide you money, have belief that they will. You don't, and if you think it's only going to come from me, please think wider, think more broad, because even if I don't, even if you're thinking that I will, it may be someone else that can provide it to you a lot easier for you than I can. But think as if I have it, and then maybe I will. Maybe it will come through another person, and that person got it from me to get to you. How do you know that's not the way that it will work? It does. I've seen it. It's really powerful and strange. It's very impressive. Belief others have achieved something helps them to help achieve more for others than you. So those who think I'm their way of giving them money, or that if someone is a millionaire, that they should just give you money, then see as if they do. Have belief as if you're worth it. Either way, just think and it does. For me, I will help anyone I can, as I have what it is will help me. And when I have more than the needs and desires I need to help with that, with what I want it for then, or require, I will be able to then provide more for you and others. Even if you're thinking, oh, that person will, and for some reason they don't, still have belief it will happen, and it will come to you, even if it's not from them, from me, or the original person you wanted it from. But because you hoped it would be, and you saw as if it was, you may still get some from me either way. Trust that through connection of energy, that possibly you getting it from someone else could have been originated from my words. So in all intents and purposes, came true through the best and quickest way of your vibration of thought, belief, and your feelings on it. So to learn more about what I truly mean by vibration, watch the movie The Secret documentary. They describe energy very well, but look up info that relates and fits with your train of thought. Also, Silicon Valley confirm it. They've done it with water and information. A lot of people in government know about it. In the military, they know. They've done tests in the 80s about it. They're aware of it. They know it works. They know it can. And they should be using it more towards me and others that they're in the projects with, messed with, or provided. They should do good, because their intentions could mess them up and their family. So they need to be aware of that. So in all intent and purposes, come true through the best and quickest way of your vibration of thought, belief. So to learn more about what I truly mean by vibration, watch the movie The Secret, and they describe energy very well, but look up other info too that relates and fits with your train of thought. So what you get drawn to, what you feel is important to you, what you have belief in. You will be drawn to it as you genuinely listen and pay attention. Sometimes it takes more than just a couple of times to watch and understand. Take as much time, watch things over and over until you notice. I say watch it monthly, if not daily. I also recommend the movies Facing the Giants and War Room, which are Christian Baptist type movies that promote having God fight your battles and having praise for Him and accepting Christ in your life. Prayer rooms are powerful and they do work. So stand up and have belief that people are there and will help you and be there for you. And if people are fighting you for God, when you are part of a belief in that, when you know it's okay and you're about the peace that that teacher teaches, them causing you harm and doing those secret harmful things will harm those they love because they're harming you. And those they love could be future lifetimes of you. So that harms them by harming me, and it harms them in their current life too. And I don't want that for them, and I don't believe in harming. I believe in healing and blessing. I'm just saying karma will get you. Karma gets you, and the energy gets you because you're promoting pain by thinking things that were falsely told by others about the individual. And that is wrong. And you need to realize the false accusations. But it doesn't mean you should go and do pain to those that gave you wrong accusations. What you need to do is pray for all of us and stop the pain. Stop the cycle of threats. Stop the cycle of slavery and free us all. Because we're all of you and you're of us. How do you know we're not your future self? We could be. Do you really want to go through that pain? Do you really want to deal with that over and over? And if you do, why are you doing that to a lifetime that doesn't want to go through that? That means you're going to get things you don't want to have to happen, and it's going to be a cycle over and over. Why do that? That's why I say go to Theta Wellness, go to places where they can clear the abuse that's making you feel you have to go through that cycle. And know that my thoughts are with you, and heal with me, talk to me, and we can heal that together. I'm not a professional at that, but we all are professionals within. So we can do somewhat healing to get you to where it will fully heal you. So if someone asks you to cause harm, please don't do that. It's important to provide growth, because you harm another, you end up allowing the universe to provide harm back to you, or to teach others to cause more harm by seeing your example of that harm. As a man liveth by the sword, they dieth by the sword. So as a man liveth, thinketh, believes, and treats others the same, they in fact attract that same feeling thought into more of those feelings and relationships into being more into their life. So when you allow yourself to stay around people that have abused you or still believe in that abusive belief, and you try to teach them and you're having a hard teaching them because you can't communicate to them properly, because you lack the ability to in the way they would like you to, then you need to step back and stay away from them. Especially if they're threatening you or putting you down or thinking you mentally ill when you know you're not. That's not healthy. Especially them thinking you're mentally ill about things that you notice are dangerous. You warned them before and they ignored. You need to forgive them and move away from them and not be in their life, because they're going to still think that way about you if you allow them to. So you need to get out of their life. It doesn't mean force them to believe something, and just get out of that vibration or belief around them and not be around them only when they have good vibrations for you. And that's how I feel with my family and my parents now and others. I only want good vibrations around them and thoughts that are fully genuine, authentic, and that they're willing to meditate and be with me in that way. Doesn't mean I don't love them. It just means it's not safe for me and them around each other when they're choosing to follow the opposite of healing that I feel is necessary for my actual healing that has helped me. with memory and that makes me responsible and smart. And so that makes me honor peaceful healing practices and leaders and spiritual good beings that told us to do that. And that honors the parents and those people you're choosing to stay away from so that you don't have to perpetuate the same pain they think needs to be perpetuated that they are doing because they're in pain from others getting them to think and be that way or feel or be affected by you because of their lack of ability to help you in the way that you know is needed. But appreciate the things they have done, because I do appreciate the funds and things that my parents did to help me have the food I require. But now they've given up completely on me, and I don't have those gifts or needs of food from them. But I'm blessing myself to now feel safer that I can now get it in other ways that are more fulfilling than what I was getting before. But I hope that if they're able to, that they'll be willing to come back, but that would be up to them. But it's got to be without strings attached. I know it's needed. If I die, it's okay, but I was told I wouldn't. With all my heart, I did what I felt I needed to do in telling my family the way I did, and I did my best to do it in a heartfelt way. And now I'm more heartfelt and more open and less expectations about them and me, but just growing for us both. Help promote growth for all. No need to force it on another. Just think it for their success and happiness, and it shall become that way forever. When you feel bad later about something you thought was okay and find out it wasn't, then start thinking the new idea that you feel is good. Apologize to you and your past and follow the thing you learned was right to do. You can always follow new paths. Again, just know you matter. Be drawn for others' healing, and then shall be healed, and so shall you for your charity of love to them. Instead of getting angry, choose to love. If you get angry or get pushed into anger, be careful with that emotion. Try to get away by talking out love, and so that the things happening isn't overly stimulating destruction but creation. Just know when someone has anger energy can be affected, just promote love for them and for you. Don't fear, cheer. If you're scared, recognize it and find a way to heal. So be loved and appreciate in love. Care for one another and recognize what is happening. We may think we can't always control others, but we can control how we think others feel about us. Just listen, have belief they love you, promote love. Also, whatever it is that causes you that harm, forgive it, um, uh, love it, and laugh it off. Don't put it down or yourself. Just help it so that it heals, and make sure you're aware and help that think that harmed or be mended. Also, sometimes when we feel pain, we think, well, I don't want to feel this, so they run, they flee, they see and feel anger and fear and fight back. As we do so, people get hurt, and we get hurt even more. So let's be open to each other and be willing to be more forgiving and understanding and honest to each other. Be patient with them and each other and ourselves, but make sure we both recognize each other's perception and feeling so we aren't overstepping each other's experiences. Even if we do, let's just have belief that whatever it is will just happen for them and for you, and then it does. And then you're both in a better place. You both then end up coming back together in the way you both would like and need for each other's personal needs of health, wealth, and happiness of all kinds of needs and wants. The government alien agreement program may have an agenda, but you don't have to feed into the bad agendas. Show them that there is another way. Belief in this way and find and cultivate a way to help all that the needs and wants that help stabilize their own personal lives. So I tell you this, we all want something. We all originated from the same universe connection. We may have grown differently, seen different experiences. Just believe you're healed and you shall be healed. Love others the way you want. Love back and you will get that same love. Forgive them. See they're concerned instead of being upset at what others may feel. Recognize their feelings and tell them that you are sorry you hurt those feelings. And then they end up feeling sorry for hurting yours. Just be open, be loved, show love. We are hurting. We all have pain. We all suffer. We all choose to get offended. And yet we let that experience rule our lives and enslave our souls. So let's be open about what hurts and be more understanding of those pains to each other. And then say and believe and pray for each other to be healed. Hug it out, I always say. But if you can't, then just feel it and heal that pain. Focus on that spiritual love and feel the hugs of the emotion of healing. And we don't have to wait to be there. Be there in the way the others needs and wants, and then you will be invited into their life more and more. Last Christmas, I tried hugging every brother or family, or I tried to appreciate them in the way that I felt they would be okay for me doing that for them in. But many of them aren't huggers, or I don't know if they would really want me to, but I tried. And some seemed kind, but then they weren't as kind as they acted. And it was really hard, but I was very genuine that day. I was very authentic and open. I did leave the church, but they had different thoughts about me leaving and reasons. And their reasons are flawed, possibly, but I don't know why they think, because they haven't told me. But because they haven't told me, they fear my understanding. They really don't want to know why. But they act as if they might know why in their mind. But their thoughts create reality to be as though it's that way. And it's really many reasons of pain and suffering that I saw was going on with that religion agreements that they even fully acknowledged and knew was going on, and even said they noticed it too, or were aware of it, and they think that it was okay for the law to do it. For them, they're not breaking any laws, but they are breaking laws. They're abusing people with agreements that that abuse is okay. That's unethical. And so even if it's not breaking a law, it is breaking a law, but because they're okay to do that within those religion, it's not breaking the law, but it's abuse. It's a civil suit. And it's against the freedoms of people's happiness, and it's not healing, it's pain. And they think it's okay to do that, even though their religion teaches them otherwise. But they say, well, I'm not perfect, and it's okay to do that. And so they're being those that they're told not to be within their teachings, but then they think that we're the evil ones that have chose to leave. Well, we left because of the evil workings that they were doing with what they say isn't supposed to be done. And they were hypocritical with those teachings. They never trusted, and those things that were even put in there were abusive and racist even. And I didn't even see that until I started looking at the scriptures more, realizing how racist and evil they put in there and brought it up as and made it as. And it didn't seem like it was coming from a healing God. Why would a God cause that? I think it was human judgments that made it seem that way. So anyway, we'll see, but we all can be forgiven and healed to their lives more and more. As you let people in, you get blessed. At the same time, let them know what you want, and they will give you whatever it is you need for providing them love they so wanted and felt they deserved. But if you can't give them the love in the way that they wanted it because it's abusive, don't do it. Be safe, okay? That's something I learned later. So feelings create life. So what created us? Do we create things? Well, through what I have mentioned, the ideas of the universe. One of the most nicest ways I like is the connection others have found out through science and harmony of the religious teachings. With science connected fully now, it's awesome. So, what is that? Well, it's the next chapter. The ideas we all want are real through connection and life of the universe. That connection with laws such as the law of attraction. I recommend to watch the movie The Secret, then read this next chapter, for I know as you follow feelings, thoughts, beliefs, and actions, you create your life as well as others you think for also and share this idea with. The more you do, the more your life changes. And it's not just about your thoughts or feelings for you, it's for everyone. That's one thing that the movie, the documentary, The Secret kind of mentions, but some don't say it. They try to say it's you and your thoughts and your flaw, and that they're seeing how people are failing. So their belief and a focus on people failing is causing that energy focus of them failing. So we don't want to do that to each other. We want to do the opposite. And I think they know that, and I think they're aware of that. But they also have their own businesses and propaganda they're trying to push. And that's why some of them are saying those things. But some of them were also abused or think in that way. But that's okay for them to think that way for their way of belief for them, because that's the way that works for them. And I forgive them for their flaws. And I have my own flaws. But when we put aside those judgments like Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton and others have realized and come together and do those things together, then we're great. At the same time, if I met Greg Braden, I'd hope he would meditate with me. I'd hope he'd find me. If he knows about me, or if he hears this, or someone knows him, please tell him to meditate for me and have his buddies and friends meditate for me, even if I'm not near them, because I really need that. And I hope those of you that believe in meditation do it unconditionally. It really matters for me right now, because I want to be able to help more and do that for others. And I need some boost of others to do that for me. But it's up to you. It's your choice. I just know what's happening. And so I'm doing my best to focus on good thoughts and feelings. But it's kind of hard when you're in a system that is targeting you for bringing up this free energy stuff. But I'm doing my best not to think as though I'm targeted, even though I have been. But I don't want to ignore the abuse. I want to heal the abuse. So I'm asking you, pray for me to get this abuse to disappear and forgive me for my doubts and feelings of it. That's how we do this. When three or more come together and forgive each other for their doubts of hope, because they've struggled so long and they've done so much for people, we need to know that they're okay and help them through their thoughts and our thoughts about them. Meditate with them. And I have a technique that I know will help. And so if you can talk to me, I do it for free. I'm not going to sell anything to you for that. If you want to buy my book, you're welcome to. But the book is free on here for the audiobook for each chapter. So listen to all those chapters when you have time. Yes, they're long recordings because it's my heart being poured out so that we can get to the bottom of doing the right thing for me and others. But I wanted to get it out so that it is known, so that I can get it out of my feelings of fear and concern, and to let people know what I'm really about now than what I was. But it's not to try to convince anybody. It's to help people know, because I know there are people struggling that will be helped by this. And even if they don't, one day they will. I don't know who they are, but if I do, then great. I'm glad I'm helping those that I know too. My heart goes out to everybody regardless, and I know everybody can be healed, and I know that they'll be healed just a little bit for me just hoping for that. Even if I don't see it, and even if they don't see it, they are being healed, and I know that they will be. And so I see this as reality for you. I pray for you for your joy and happiness and laughter, and I know it will provide your dreams as a reality. When you have to laugh, do it respectfully. It works better when it's for growth and not to put down another. So know I have belief in you. I love you. I value you. I see your future as now. Your past helped you be drawn to you to all. You have now, and now your future is your present, now forever, and you are very welcome for this. For to me it's real, and it's genuine, and full of love for all the things that matter and keep you and your family feeling loved and safe for all time and all eternity. I ask, have belief in me as I believe in you, and your future as reality now and forever is always existing. So there you go. That's chapter 10. I have belief in you. We got 3 more chapters to go, and then we are pretty much done. I want you to know that I care about you. I do have belief in you. Those that want to meditate with me or decide to meditate with me, even if you don't talk to me, if you want to be a good Samaritan, please be a good Samaritan and help me out. I do have a Patreon where people can contribute, but I am on disability and there are rules with being on disability. So I really want to just manifest the trust funds so that I can get off disability and off Medicare and Medicaid controls and have my own medical care that I know my doctor knows help me, because Medicare Medicaid isn't helping me enough with full natural healing. They want me to do medicine, the things that don't help me, the doctors know aren't helping. And they won't cover the natural things that the doctor even considers as my medicine help. And so I really have needs that need to be met. And that's why I've lacked in being able to be there for others in the way I'd like to be, or in the way others would want me to be. But I also have chosen not to be certain ways because I can't be that type of individual that's fake or facade-like. I have a different way of looking at things and being honest and upfront about stuff, not hiding my feelings. So anyway, I have a good heart and I care about you all, and I do know that these things are happening, and it is a very scary situation to deal with. And I understand why it would be hard for my parents and family to be able to hear and not know what to do because they don't feel like meditating and doing the thing that I feel will help. And if they do feel like it, then do it with me. Do it in the way that I want, but don't do it with expectations of other thoughts. That's why we're not around each other, because you've done that back and forth, and it's hard for me to do that when I'm in pain and in health, and when you're in pain and health too. I know you're in pain and you have your own health issues, situations, and I'm always thinking of you and praying for you, mom and dad and brothers and sisters, even those that have heard that I've talked of dreams of seeing them do things. I care about those brothers. I don't hate them for that dream or believe that that dream was a reality or not, but I don't act like it wasn't. If it was real, or if it was my brain showing me something of an abuse that I blocked out or they blocked out, then we need to acknowledge that that is something that I noticed I was concerned of, that I felt was happening because of lack of communication and heartfelt compassion towards me, that I don't feel that they've done. But I know that they lack the ability to for themselves. So I forgive them for that past arguments that we've had, or raising of my voice that they think is raising of my voice. The way I speak now, even if it sounds like I raise my voice or speak in a certain pattern, is for a healing purpose. I do now, even if it brings up pains. I really just want to manifest and create reality for me. And then what I plan on doing is giving a ton of money to those brothers and family, but not to make up for the pains that we cause, but because I know they're in pain and they deserve healing. It's to help them. I've always wanted to help them. And I'll give them money regardless what they think of me or don't. If they don't want it, they don't have to take it, but I want them to be healed and I want them to be safe. And I want them to have it unconditionally. I'll do that for them. I don't know if they'll do that for me. I haven't really seen them do that when they've had things, but I really would. And I'll give them whatever I feel they want. The more I learn what they want from others, the more I'll try to confirm it with them personally and see once I'm fully provided. I'll be able to do a lot more for my family, and my family will appreciate me more, because they've always loved me more when I worked at a hotel company and was able to give them rates and deals. They loved me more then than they do when I can't give them things. So it's really hard to feel the lack of love that they feel from me because I can't give them what they want me to give them, or that I was able to give them. They were upset that I left that job because I didn't feel right about the job, and because I had health issues that were affecting me, that I found out later were part of the cancer genetic system issues from eating the foods and things that were being affected or I was noticing. And also the fact that I wasn't able to handle my emotions and focus as well as I needed. And so I can't work a normal job because I don't work in the speed or function that a job would want me to. But I am a really good individual. I was able to sell things really well in certain jobs. I was good at it, but my health got in the way of being able to do it, even though I was amazing at those jobs when I put my effort into doing that. When it comes to selling products and selling and soliciting, I was good at doing. I just didn't really like how I felt and what it was turning me into. So I like doing this and manifesting those needs because my health got affected by it, and it was part of the fracture and other things that I didn't know was still there, and genetics, and chemicals in the air and things in foods. So forgive me for any flaws that I've done, or fights or yelling that we have done. If you feel hurt by it, but I didn't. Anything I did was to stand up for myself, and we both misinterpreted each other, and I'm sorry for you misinterpreting me, and but I do care about you with all my heart, in my own way that I feel I can. The reason why I'm not around you or able to be around you is because of the lack of needs that I have had. But I have prayed and I have manifested many things. So even though I had lack, I realize that the more people are there for you that build you up instead of tearing you down, and that you think are there, and you go to places that bring you joy, and you stay away from things that don't, and you stop thinking that certain things are certain ways, and you start saying, I love this, I appreciate this, I'm doing great, then you start doing great. And I did do that, but then the physical health was still affecting me. And so it really threw me off. I realized that it was because I was being targeted. So I started to find solutions that were practical to me. And then I started to find out ways to love me, even if others chose not to. And then I love others in the way I can for them unconditionally, that I feel is safe unconditionally too. Meaning I don't judge them that they're going to go to hell. I don't think that their religion is horrible for them. If they think it helps heal them, then it's healing them. But it doesn't mean that it's good for me. It may be good for them, but it's not good for me. And so I also noticed what was happening within the secret agreements to cause that. So I was inspired, and I did manifest answers to get away from causing more pain to me. So now I can fully heal because I'm in a better place. But now I just am reaching out to people to pray with me so that I can have people that know I'm authentic now that are ready. And so let's do that. Even if you believe different thoughts and belief systems of me, just think in that silly way. Just be like, oh, you already have it. It's real. It's real now, 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 now. And then we just keep saying that until it happens, and then it does. It will happen. We'll do it for 10 minutes. And then after that, we'll do it. But we'll talk about what it is. And then I'll talk about it as if it's a present tense. And then we say now, 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 now. And that's what I'm doing in life now with everybody I talk to. I'm telling them that. That's what I do. That's my focus. It's hard to explain it over and over to people. But that's how we do it. So, that's what I need is the now, now, now healing. Yeah, I already have it. We already have it. Yes, yes, yes. It's real. It's real. It's real. Yay, yay, yay. It's real. It's real. It's real. And I know it's funny and it's silly to talk about it that way, but that is how you do it. And they did it in Non-Medicine Hospital 3 minutes, cured a bladder cancer in a woman, cured people's ailments and tumors and all sorts of stuff within a matter of 3 minutes. Don't believe me? Look it up. Look up Greg Braden. Look up science. Look up the studies in the 80s that they found out about the nature mind or unified field or matrix field that the military found out. I'm telling you, it's out there. They're using it. We can do it. So let's do it for one another. Bless it into being. Greg Braden's CD, Gift of the Blessing, brings it up. We can do it. There's studies with Deepak Chopra and Greg Braden that explained it. You can heal through emotions and feelings and thoughts as one. Christ's teachings have been found in Christ's tomb saying that same thing that they took out of the original scriptures that the Western world has. They've been hiding it from us. And now we know, and we can forgive them for hiding it from us, but now that it's known, we need to let it be known to people and correct the false teachings and controls that they've tried to put us under. Now we can heal. Now we can become better. We are better. We're great. So let's start healing. Let's make it so it actually is real by saying it is and tell it's real. So do that with me. I bless that my circumstance that was is now what it shall be and already has been, and it's already happened. It's already done. Now. It's already happened. It's already happened. It's already happened. It's already done. It's already done. It's already done. Now. I have the desired funds in the best and most harmonious, healing, blissful way as possible, safest way as possible, freely given. Now. You do too. Now. Think it, feel it. Repeat this over and over. I'm going to do a video on this later after I finish these chapters. I will do a video of healing this way. And I will do it on this channel and on my Samuel Loomis channel. So it's going to be on both Samuel Loomis Newly Awakened and Samuel Durbridge. I'll also try to put this same video on Facebook page, on my pages for Samuel Stephen Durbridge page, and I'll also do my best to post it on the Facebook book page and on my personal page. I will do this and I will focus on that healing, and I will do that healing for those that want to. And then I will also do another form of healing, okay? The next form of healing is we will do a healing where you can call me and we can do a personal healing with each other for free. But the only unfree thing about it is if you live in a different country or state and you call my phone number, I may not be able to talk to you on my phone because I'm a state number. But I hope it works. I hope we're able to. But in those in the state side, you can. But if not, just know when we do it, you can message me on my YouTube page and say, hey, do a personal healing video for me on this channel. And I'll be like, okay, will do. Let's do it. For who? Who do you want it for? So give me that information. Give me who it is you want it for you and for others. And then how long you want me to do it. And we'll do a video. I can probably do one for 20 minutes at least, 20 to 33 minutes, because that's how long my phone videos do. But I won't do a live video or a life video. I'll do, unless I have enough people to do that. What I'll do for now is I will just do a video for those requests. You can email me at Durbridge Samuel for those requests. At Durbridge Samuel on Twitter, you can talk to me and message me privately, or follow me and then privately message me. Tell me. You can also let me know what it is, and I'll do that. I'll do it on YouTube. I'll do it for Facebook as well. I'll post the same video for you. And I'll do it on the other page as well. I'll do it on all 3 pages. And then we can do that. I'm a minister of my own belief of ministry for the ulc.org. So I have the privilege, and by law I can heal. So I am allowed to. So we can do this as if we believe it heals, and it will. And by law I'm allowed to do it in that belief of that healing. And so let's do that for each other. Let's help each other. And let's do this. Also, if you want to reach out to me and help in other ministering ways, You can also call me or email me at durbinsamuel@gmail.com as well. You can do durbinsamuel@gmail. I will put these links below on each video about this. I already have something set up to do that. I hope these videos can get on. Some of them are long recordings, and it will be a long slideshow of recordings. Now, the recording that I'll do the feed of video will be where you'll see me, the real me in a video doing the healing and how we meditate and do it. You just tell me how you want meditated or in what way. And forgive me if I'm not doing it exactly the way you want it, because I'm doing it in the way I feel inspired to do it in. If you want an individualized way, you'd have to get a hold of me somehow through calling or talking and messaging and telling me how. And then you'd have to show me where to go. And if I don't have the resources to do that, then I may not be able to do it in the exact way you want me to. Like if you're trying to make me to do a spell or some ritual with candles, I can't guarantee that I'm going to do that. I do have some green candles and stuff, but I really don't want to mess with that when I'm doing videos because I don't want to accidentally start a fire or something. I want to focus. We don't need stones necessarily, but stones help for you. So you just have the stones and believe that those stones are healing. If you want me to mention it, I'll do that. So I'm doing these all for free, as long as I'm allowed to and able to. And I believe that I have the freedom to do so. I should be allowed. But regardless, I'm going to do it as long as I can. And what we can do is you can tell me do it for 3 minutes, do it for 10 minutes, do it for whatever, and we can do the video for as long as you need me to. If you want me to do it longer, I'll do my best to do it. I may have to pause here and there. I might have to when it's a video, it's going to have to be less than 33 minutes because that's just the way my video works. And I've tried doing live feeds on Facebook, and sometimes the internet crashes when I'm doing it. So I've had to do my own private video recordings and then upload them. Because live feeds get tricky here with the secret government entities around and others choosing to play those games here in Utah. And so I just work around it, and I do what I can from my heart regardless. So I care about you. I bless you all. Let's do this. Let's get this done. I'm more heartfelt about this than ever before. Ever since I left that religion I was a part of, it really freed me from their controls. And it doesn't mean I hate the religion or people in it. It means that it wasn't good for me. It was holding me back from the real me. And they were keeping me in projects that were harming me, that other people within the religion don't even know or don't accept are going on. Some call it me mentally ill, but I witnessed it, and I went through it, and I heard other people tell me they'd seen it and witnessed it too. And I'm very thorough about it. I've even talked to therapists that are doctorates and know these things are going on, and these programs exist that warn me about them, that knew that I was being affected by it and would understand that they do that. And nutritionists and people in military that knew that these things were going on, that knew that I noticed it. And some of them that knew that it was going on are probably part of the problem causing it, but at least they're letting people know it's happening. They're just following what orders they feel they have to, but it doesn't mean that they accept all of those orders, because some of them are harmful to people and they won't do it because of their belief of not doing that. And you don't have to do it if it goes against your ethics. It's wrong and it's illegal. And some feel like they have to because they'll be put in the projects if they don't. So we need to heal those people in those issues that are being pressured to do these things because they're not wanting to. So we want to heal and get them out of having to do that in those projects. We want to manifest healing and needs for them too. And that's what I'm about. So I want to free us all, even those in the projects, even those that are doing the gang stalking that don't want to gang stalk, but they're threatened to do so. And they'll lose privileges that are helping them and their family and children. And that's why my brothers and family may be doing what they're doing too, because they think they have no other choice. And maybe that's why they're doing what they're doing. But maybe they're just doing it because they feel that I'm not as aware. But I'm aware of things more than most people are choosing to be aware of. there are HCT, human extraterrestrial beings that have been among us and programs. There's just too much obvious awareness on it. And even if there isn't, I've seen humans with HCT orders affecting me, or HCTs in human form coming and messing with me because they don't want to show their real form around me. So it's really, really tricky and very evil. But I've been noticing that it's human emotional rather than extraterrestrial emotional most of the time. Extraterrestrials are a little bit more childlike of compassion, trickery of Starlight. They have a different response issue when it's a gray or roan creature of it. But when it's an actually human, they are following certain religious value or agreements that they think is why they need to attack me when they're misled about what I truly follow and have belief in. So there you go. So chapter 11 will be something I'm going to do next. And this, I have to say, will be the best explanation of what I want in my life. Chapter 11 will be that. And that will start on page 174. We'll do that later. But that one's the law of attraction and how it can help with everything and the answers to how we exist. And it ultimately gives us the answers of the universe and how we all are connected through energy connection, belief, and faith through our spiritual energy connections explained. But I learned new things, and I'm going to explain those new things. But I want you to know that I bless you all. I care about you all. We're all impressive. We're all important, and we all matter. So let's do this. Let's help each other. And many things are going to happen. It's going to be amazing. Don't worry about all the illnesses that are out there. Be smart about them. The coronavirus and all those things that I've been noticing that people have brought up, and SARS and all the different ones, and flus. I would say stay away from vaccines personally. Look and do your research on it. The chemicals actually break down your immune system. Be smart, be aware. Many nurses and doctors have stopped being doctors because they realize what people are doing. 50% of the people getting sick are getting the vaccines. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. 50% of the ones getting sick are getting the vaccines. So it shows that they are not helping. Eating natural cures and doing those things blocks you from those diseases. It can. But you have to have the right amount of healing, and you have to be positive and focused. And so and also if you're targeted and caused harm, for me, if I die, I'm okay. I'll go to heavenly form, or I'll not have to worry about this life of pain anymore. But if I am put back into a cycle of this again, then that's why it's so important to meditate and pray with me and others, so we can stop this time loop and issues that have been happening to us and others. I'm serious. This is a very serious thing that we need to take seriously and heal and love and think of peace. It's good to have good thoughts, but beware of the negatives that are occurring. Don't ignore them. Be aware and then find solution and take it seriously and meditate. Really do it. Be vigor. Have fun with it. It's awesome. And they bring it up. Have fun with it in the movie The Secret documentary. They say have fun with it. Do it with others. Do it with each other. It's stronger. Greg Braden noticed, and they bring it up in the ancient texts, and when 3 or more people do it together, it is stronger and faster instead of you having to do it yourself. It is better to do it with people. They notice with prayers that the more people praying for something to happen, it will happen a lot easier because each other is believing in it strongly for each other, not doubting each other in those needs of it happening. Trusting in it. Come like a little child, full of belief, forgiving your doubt, and just do it. And do it as long as it takes with each other. Why do you think the whole city of Zenith was brought up? It's because people prayed together. and meditated together to bring the whole city up. I know tons about City of Enoch. I know tons about that knowledge of teaching. And even if I don't know the story fully, I know that there was many things where he saw Nephilim and went and saw some horrible things. But that's why they knew how to do the good, so that the horrible things would stop. There was giants eating people. Come on, people, even if that is unbelievable to you, if it was happening, he knew what needed to be done, and he brought a whole city to a heavenly realm or a healing realm or whatever was said. And we can do that, even if it's silly. We might as well think positive and make it happen, especially when it's serious. And right now it's serious for me. So please be serious about this in a happy, healing way for me and others. I want to help and do support systems for people. I want to do it freely. But in order to do that, I would need funds. So let's manifest those funds. Let's make it happen. I'm not asking you to give funds. If you can't give funds, I'm not telling people they should. That's your choice. If you can, I hope you would think of me, and I appreciate it, but you don't have to, okay? Take care of you and your family. Do things that you feel good about. Don't expect that by giving me things, it will provide things for you, though, or that I will. I can't guarantee anything. I want to, and I would love to, but I can't guarantee. No string attached giving, please. It's got to be no strings attached. I mean, freely giving, not expecting it back, not expecting me to respond a certain way, just doing it from your heart, knowing that it's okay. I do that a lot for people, even those that have hurt me or I felt hurt. I've tried to give or do, but there are some that I want to give more to make up for what I haven't been able to give them because of my lack of needs or ability to be there in the way they want me to. I can only be there in the way I feel comfortable being there in. And so that's what I do now, especially with all the attacks and things I've had and I've seen. I've become stronger because of those attacks, even if I become weak and hurt by them. So let's do this. Thank you for your time, and I bless you all. Wow, yeah, this was long. I figured it might be. It's 3 hours and 17 minutes, just about. But I bless you. Your desires are already happened, already done, now. Bless